Hold on, everybody. There. Hey, what's up, friends? Welcome to Newsboyz. It's 8:30. We're a little later tonight than usual. Trevor had a work thing that went late. He's home. He sent me the Zoom. I'm waiting on him to let me into the room. But Newsboyz is happening. How are you guys? What the is up, everybody? What was that song? That was Psychic TV. That's the name of that band. There he is. What's up, dude?
What's up?
Yeah, that was Psychic TV. It was called God Star. Fucking great. A great one.
What is up?
What is... Hang on a second. There we go.
Isn't that
what
Keanu
up?
Reeves' band, Dog Star?
Huh?
Isn't Keanu Reeves' band called Dog Star?
Yeah, that song was called God Star. But yes, Keanu Reeves' band is called Dog Star. And I've never heard a Dog Star song. Have you?
No, I haven't.
I wonder if they're good.
I'm sure they are.
How could they not be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Keanu Reeves. It's Dog Star.
Yeah, it's great. It's Dog Star. It's going to be great. Did I ever tell you about the time I was at the Barry Hotel in New York with my buddy Paul, who was like, when he would get wasted, he would just, you never knew what he would do. He was the bassist in Langhorne Slim, Mal's buddy.
Yep.
And we were having drinks. We're pretty fucked up. We're at the Barry Hotel. Keanu Reeves was there, and he was like sitting, he was barefoot, which was weird, at the Barry Hotel.
That's his thing.
He was in a suit and tie, but he was barefoot. He looked honestly cool as fuck. I was like, he's a very striking looking person.
Yeah.
But Paul would just like, we're like probably 15 feet away, and Paul was just drunk, and he was just like, yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. We're like having conversations. He's like, no, that's an interesting point. It's a shame that Keanu Reeves doesn't have anything to say about it. And I was like, shut the fuck up, dude. And I would like pull him and like punch him in the chest. Like, don't do that. And he'd be like, I won't. And then like 2 minutes later, we'd be talking. He'd be like, hey, I think I'm gonna get another drink unless Keanu Reeves. It was like humiliating, dude.
That's a good bit. I like that.
It's terrible.
I saw Keanu Reeves once. I was at a race. There was like an F1 like race.
Was he barefoot?
And no, he wasn't barefoot, but I was there, and it was in this area, like, you know, it was kind of like you had to get a ticket. You had to have like a certain band to be in this area. This is like the nice seats at the race. And he like came up on a motorcycle that looked sick as hell, you know, like, which was the raddest. It was the same thing where you're like, that dude looks awesome like that. And then he just walked, and it was this small area where like the people who had the wristbands could get food. And so he was just walking around and seemed really cool. And I was like, that's a cool motorcycle. And they're like, yeah, he built that. He designed it. And I was like, that's so cool.
Oh my God,
like,
dude. I mean, you know, you hear that he is the coolest guy, right? I've only heard that he's like so sweet, so nice
Never
to
heard
work
a bad
with.
thing about him.
I heard that he donated 50% of his Matrix. You know, he's the highest paid actor of all time because of the Matrix.
Yeah.
He took like participation in that. And apparently he took 50% of his profits, of his like money, and he gave it to the special effects people. Because he was like, you guys made this movie, not me.
Yeah, I heard it was more than that, but
Really?
I've heard that. Yeah.
What a mensch.
Yeah, great guy.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? How are we? It's good to see everyone here twerking. Thank you so much. Somebody says, Trevor and Zach, hold. I gotta smoke a bowl. Pause the stream for 1 minute. Thank you.
Okay, everybody hold on.
Let's give this guy a minute.
What's this guy's name?
NVA. Hang on. I'll tell you in a second. Let me find him here. His name is NVA92. All right, buddy.
Okay, NVA92 is going to smoke a bowl. I want everyone to stop chatting. No chat. We wait for NVA to... I see chat still going. Everybody, silence. We want nothing going on.
He's trying to get high, people. Let him do his thing, please.
For those of you who are just tuning in, Newsboyz will start in a second. There's some dude named NVA who is going to smoke a bowl. So we're waiting for him because I guess he has a hard time watching something while he's smoking a bowl. So
there he is. Hang on. He says, guys, I'm done. Hang on. Fuck, it's moving fast. He did say, guys, I'm done. I saw it. But that's not enough. I need to make sure that he's satisfied. I can't just let him be like done. He has to be like good.
Yeah.
Good now, guys. He says good now, guys.
Okay, he's good. Okay. NVA, you let us know at any other point.
Yeah.
If you need us to stop the chat or stop the show, if you got to take a shit, you got to do something, let us know. We're here for you, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. All right. That was a little stressful. I was worried about it.
I was, yeah. I'm feeling sick. I'm under the weather tonight.
Have you been tested?
I've tested every other day, so I've been tested all week. I don't. It's not that I don't have COVID. I don't think.
What do you think it is? What do you feel?
I don't know. I kind of feel like, and I think you get this too. Like next week is like I've been shooting this show for a long time. Next week is the last one for a break. You know,
You get sick.
and like when you're shooting, I think your immune system like just keeps you up so that like you don't get sick, and then towards the end it crashes.
Yeah.
But I've been working through COVID, so I've actually been going for 14 months straight.
Right.
So I think everything is just shutting down.
You know, I remember when we were on tour. It was the first time this kind of dawned on me. We were like on tour for like, I don't know, 5 weeks or something like that. And we had that tour manager, that lady, and I don't remember what her name was, but she was super cool. And I think we were on tour for a month. And then we stopped in New York for like 3 days, so everyone could kind of go like live a normal life before we had to get back on the bus.
Yeah,
And
go see your girlfriend.
see your girlfriend, like actually sleep in a bed. And I remember we got back on the bus and all of us were sick. Everyone got sick, and she was like laughing.
Yeah.
She was like, "Yeah, it's because when you grind this hard, your body just like white knuckles it, and then as soon as a break comes, you just get sick." She's like, "This is what happens to everybody."
Yeah.
And I was like, who knew that your
think-
immune system knew that kind of shit about you?
Who knew your immune system was that much of a bro? That it's like,
Yeah.
I got you. And, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I'm about to get really sick, but that's cool because I kind of want to do nothing for a month after next week.
Yeah, sweet, man.
How was your week?
Hectic but productive. It was good. It was good. Hey, Zach and Trevor, I am a fan and I live in LA. How much do I have to donate to meet discreetly and have one of you punch me directly in the face? It has to be hard enough to leave a black eye. This is not a joke.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen, buddy.
Well, let's think of a number, though. Let's think of a number.
How much do we need for the movie? Like 250,000 left or something like that?
Oh, we need more than that, right? I mean, our jug is pretty much empty. Although that jug needs to be updated.
By the way, I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling under the weather. I'm sick, and then it's just White Claw.
Yeah, good job, dude.
Dr. White Claw.
Now let's think about this. How much would it cost for you to punch? Let's talk this through. I wanna get a read on this.
I'm not gonna punch anybody.
You wouldn't punch someone if they were gonna donate. Let's say they were gonna donate $300,000 to the movie. Yes,
No, because I don't know this dude. You might sue me.
What if you had a written? There's no way you would ever do it. You wouldn't do it.
No, if I had a written thing.
I would do it for 10 G's.
Punch him so hard he gets
I give a black eye for 10 G's, but I would definitely want like I would want it on camera, him like saying like I want this, you know, I would
Right.
get him to like do all that, and then I'd do it for 10 G's.
See, I don't trust my own strength. I'm a fucking animal when it comes to a fight. I'd be afraid that I'd like put the guy in the hospital.
Somebody says, Zach, come on, we know you do a black eye for $500. No. But honestly, though, 10 G's is high. I would do it for less than that if I think about it. Anyway.
At a period of time in your life, you would have just done it if the guy said you could.
Yeah, well, remember I used to punch
Yeah.
Boogie in the face all the time. He loved it. He was
I
like,
remember-
Yo,
I
girls
remember
like
you-
it when I have a black eye. Give me a black eye. And I would like hit him, and then we got thrown out of bars. And I'd be like, no,
I remember
he
you used
likes
to punch
it.
lots of people in the face.
What's that?
I remember you used to punch lots of people in the face or slap a lot of people.
Yeah, it got me in trouble.
Well, yeah. It's a weird hobby.
I did. I used to have a thing about it.
Zach would get drunk at a bar and then just start slapping people because it was funny. And it was.
It was funny, though.
It was funny. But like, yeah.
Speaking of Mal, he's texting me right now. Oh my God. He says, hey dudes, a friend of ours from way back in New York, pre-COVID, etc., named Matt, said he had something to show me, ran back to his car and came back with this. I have a feeling it's going to be something crazy. Anyway, we'll see. Suspense.
Is Mal coming on the show?
I wouldn't mind. Zach, I've been
bring Mal
subbing and gifting subs for your attention. You responded in Collective Souls to my chat comment about animating for you guys. I'll animate anything you want if it's for a good cause. I love you both.
Can you animate a whole movie for us? That would help. We could stop trying to raise all this money and just
hired this guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
How so I Darren Deronius and Sammy Brown they had a show this week.
Oh yeah, they
did.
did, didn't they? I
Yeah.
haven't seen. How did they do? Did you check their numbers?
I looked at it.
How'd they do?
I just looked. They did okay. They did pretty good. Yeah,
They didn't do Newsboyz numbers, obviously.
No, of course
Okay.
not. But it was pretty good, especially for for a first time. I mean, I think Sam has hitched himself to the right train.
Well, Darren's a very popular guy with this crew here.
Yeah, I think Sam did a smart thing.
Yep. Yeah, we should make Darren an honorary newsboy for a week. See what that does to Sam.
Oh, we should sabotage their show and invite Darren over here.
Oh my God.
No, but that's no. I'm glad. I want it to do good. I want someone else to shoulder the weight, because it's hard being the flagship show.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Heavy lies the crown.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. We're Atlas basically,
Sure.
And yeah. Welcome everybody. This is the crown jewel in the Whitest Kid Empire. This is the show that all shows are compared to. And this is the flagship right here.
You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here, Yeah. And I think that's...
Someone says you're Atlas and you're going to shrug.
Yeah. Zach, tell us what the device is from Mountain of Chairs. Did you ever have an idea in your head of what the device was when he says, Gloria, bring me the device?
I thought it was like a very primitive thing that you'd have to crank, and it just slowly pinched his hands.
That's good.
That was in my head. That was my head canon.
In my head, it had something to do with suction cups attached to cables that would go to something that I would kind of wind. That's about right. And it would drain his life energy, very much like Princess Bride.
Yeah, actually, in my head canon, it was like a stirrup that you'd put him in, and then you could suck on his toes while you finger blasted his butt. That's what I always thought it was.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's new and different.
I'll draw it.
Yeah, great. Hang on, abstracts. Wait a minute, what the fuck is your name? Abstract Anosmic. Oh, okay, all right. He says, I love y'all, but I'm about to pass out into spaghetti. I'll catch the rest of this tomorrow. All right, buddy. Catch you tomorrow.
That's what we call a fair weather fan.
Yeah.
Only watches Newsboyz when it's convenient.
Saber Frozen says, I'm really high, and I think this is the only place I'd want to be right now. Well, Saber Frozen, I'm glad you're here. Everything's going to be okay. We are all racing towards death, but don't think about that. Anything could happen at any moment, but don't worry about it. What?
Doesn't it seem like it's taken a long time? Doesn't feel like we're racing towards death.
You don't think so?
No, it seems like it's taken forever.
Okay. Draw this device. I want to see this. Let me do a couple of thank yous.
Here's my old drawing from yesterday. Remember I drew Timmy? I still have that down here.
Oh, yeah. Let me see the baseball bat. Very cool little baseball bat.
Timmy's little baseball bat.
Little Louisville Slugger he's rocking there.
Should we get into some news?
Yeah, let's get into some news. Did anything happen this week?
People? I think so. Let's see what happened this week. So there was we just hit 1,000. Look at that.
Hey, thanks everybody. Thanks for being here.
It's that easy. We've been on the air 10 minutes. It's just, I've said it before. I've said it again. We just never fucking miss. So what happened this week? So there was still no president. There's two presidents.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, Georgia officially went to Biden, right? Arizona went to Biden. He's got 306, dude. It's done.
Two presidents. We got two presidents right now.
All right. Well, we got one president. We got one president-elect. But yes.
Could go anyway. Right. There could still be tomfoolery and shenanigans. You never know. So we have two presidents right now. We haven't had two presidents for 20 years. There was a three-month period where we had George Ebersol Bush and Donald Gore, or Donald James. What is Gore's name? Alfred James Gore. The two of them were presidents at the same time for 3 months. Remember that?
Donald Gore. Good Lord.
Remember that though?
Wait, are you talking about 2000?
Mm-hmm. So they were both president for like it was like a Schrodinger's cat thing where it's like you didn't know was Bush president or was Gore president?
Yeah, they
for
weren't
months.
both president. That's one thing I'm sure of. Right? Clinton was president.
But if aliens came down and they were like, take us to your leader, and then whatever country they were in, they were like, oh, well, here's the prime minister. They're like, no, the American leader. Let's go see the American leader. Like they would have had to introduce him to both Gore and Bush if they came in that small window, which I think is right now. If aliens
You don't
came
understand
down,
how any of this works. Clinton was president, right? And then there was a period where there was confusion over who would be the next president, but they weren't both president. Al Gore was never president.
yeah, but you think fucking moon men are going to come down here and want to talk to a lame duck?
Well, you got me. You baited me into it, and then you got me.
What? They're going to talk to a lame duck?
Oh my god, dude.
Someone
Hey,
says,
have you seen
Trevor.
that movie In the Loop?
I think I saw
think you
some
have.
of it.
It's like a political comedy. It's Armando Iannucci who did Veep.
Yeah, I got bored.
Oh, you didn't like it? I thought you were recommending it to me at one point.
No, I was recommending a different one that he did called The Death of Stalin, which I thought was hilarious.
Right. Oh, he made that too?
Yeah, Death of Stalin is awesome, and Loop, I got bored.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, but did you like it? Was it good?
I haven't watched it yet, but I'm intending to. Yeah, I was listening to this podcast this week called Dead Eyes. Have you heard about this?
Mm-mm.
It's pretty funny. There's this guy Connor Ratliff. He's like a UCB dude, and I guess he was cast on Band of Brothers and fired because Tom Hanks said he had dead eyes. And so this is like 20 years ago. So he's making this whole like mystery investigative podcast to figure out like why did Tom Hanks say that about me? Like how can I get to the bottom of this? Is that true?
Wow.
Anyway, it's funny. Anyway, he gets into some I don't know.
So
why
it
I'm
really
going
bothered
into
him. That's interesting. It's
Yeah.
like, remember that guy did a documentary about how he had a small dick?
No.
Oh yeah, it's called, I forget what it's called. It's called something like I've got a small dick or something, but
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not. It was this dude. I saw him. He did an interview and I was like, that's weird that this guy's like, it was basically like his girlfriend broke up with him and he was like, why? And she was like, well, you have a small dick. And then he felt bad. So he did a documentary about like whether or not it really matters to have a small dick. It'd be funny if like at the end of his documentary, he's like, yeah, it does. Your girlfriend breaks up with you.
Probably is the answer, right? I think it does matter.
That's how I got in this position. That's why I'm making a documentary.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody says, whose voice is the lowest, Trevor's or Sam's? Trevor's. Trevor's is.
Mine?
Yeah, you have a deeper voice
What?
than Sam.
Mine?
Me? Little old me? A weird doc is Finders Keepers about a guy who finds a severed leg in a grill at a yard sale. And then him and his leg's owner fight over who should own the leg. Yeah, I've almost watched that a bunch of times, but I've never seen that.
Top 3 documentaries. Go fast.
Oh, what a great one. Okay, The 7-5. It's probably my number one. Have you seen
Don't
that?
know it. No.
Dude, it's fucking phenomenal. I was going to say it's a true story. It's about this corrupt cop in Brooklyn in the 70s. It is just like the greatest fucking Scorsese kind of a thing about just this rad action story. So that's probably number one.
Okay.
Fuck, this is hard, dude. You throw one, then I think of my next one. Are we seeing series or just feature?
I'm just saying a documentaries, features.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Small Town Ecstasy.
Small Town Ecstasy. About the dad who does all the E? That is good.
You can only find that on YouTube, but Small Town Ecstasy. Yeah.
All right, this might be cheating. It's not a feature, but it's American Juggalo, the 15-minute doc.
Yeah, I don't count that.
You don't
that's
count that?
great. It's fantastic.
So
But that's
good.
15. That's 15 minutes.
Fuck. And 6 Days to Air, but that's also not like it's got to be like an hour and a half. Fuck, this is hard.
All right, I'm going to throw out a second one.
Okay.
The War Room.
Love it.
Fantastic. One of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
Oh, I got my third.
Is your third the Errol Morris? Is it going to be
No. I do love that. I do love The Fog of War, but that's not
the
it.
Fog of War.
Yeah. Third, I would say is I Think We're Alone Now. And that's probably my favorite.
That's probably right up there tied with number one for me.
I think that's probably my favorite documentary.
Yeah. The War Room is phenomenal. The War Room is phenomenal. Yeah. I don't know. Thin Blue Line is great for sure.
Someone says, "Gimme Shelter." That's
I
a
never
good
saw
one.
Gimme Shelter.
You know what? The Last Waltz doesn't count, does it?
No. Isn't that a series also? Or no?
No.
Oh, that's
it's Scorsese's
about the band.
documentary about the band.
Yeah.
Because I love that movie too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Errol Morris. Remember, he had a series that was called First Person, where it was just like him interviewing just randos, like, you know, not randos, but just, you know, like people that weren't necessarily famous but had compelling stories. And
fantastic. I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
You know which one I'm going to talk about?
I think so.
The crown jewel, the best one of all of them, was this interview.
The Newsboys of.
Yeah, it was the Newsboys of those episodes. And it was about a bouncer at a bar.
Yeah.
And he happened to have probably the highest IQ of any recorded human being. Like, he was such a genius, he was like untestable. And it was, and you could tell just listening to him talk, you're like, this guy's a fucking genius. He would like, or he was just like an incredible con man, but I think he legit was a genius.
I mean, I think it was. I think the reason that he got to the point where they're making a documentary is like geniuses would listen to him and be like, "This guy's got me beat." Like, this guy's like, you know.
But he was a bouncer. He had no ambition. He was not trying to like do anything. He was just a fucking bouncer at a bar. And he told this one anecdote where he's like, "Yeah, I was like working on a napkin, and I was working on this like artificial intelligence algorithm that I was writing, and I cracked this crazy breakthrough for artificial intelligence." And then there was a fight, and I had to go break the fight up. And when I came back, my napkin was gone, and I couldn't remember it. It was like, dude,
Yeah.
what
it was
the
like,
fuck?
Wow, you're really fucking stupid for a genius.
Yeah.
The thing, there's two things that I remember about that, and one of them was that I thought it was really cool. Like when he would talk about how he tests his own intelligence, and he said that he would just try to think of as many things at once as possible.
Insane.
Which is such, if you try to wrap your head around that, like basically hold as much information in your mind as at once, like thinking about all of it equally, that's incredible.
Insane.
And then the other thing that was chilling about it was at the end of the documentary, they ask him, so this is the smartest guy ever, you know, like, and they're like, so could you fix the world? And he's like, yes.
Yeah,
like,
I know exactly what you're going to say. I used to say it all the time.
Yeah. So he goes, what would you do? And he goes, well, the first thing is everyone would get a vasectomy at birth, and you have to petition for the right to be able to procreate. Like, kind of like, so it was like, this is the smartest guy in the world. And then as soon as you give him the keys to the car, like it's this, very fascist, crazy, like 1984 sort of scenario.
He was like, you'd need a fascist to fix the world. He's like, democracy is broken. It would have to be a fascist. Fascism has never worked because we never had the right fascist. He was like, he's like, there's too many people. There's too many people on this planet. Our oceans have become deserts. You know, it's not sustainable. We are going to collapse upon ourselves, and it's going to be terrible. He's like, if you do this plan with the vasectomy at birth, you fix all of these problems in one generation. No. It's amazing.
And it's crazy. It's crazy because at one time it was like, well, you sound like a fucking Nazi and a fucking hippie.
Yeah.
The worst thing. Fucking hippie Nazis.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's right though, man. We got too many people. Did you guys ever hear about the doc Errol Morris was trying to do about a town in Florida where dudes were maiming themselves on purpose for insurance claims? I have not heard about that. I know he made Vernon, Florida, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. Yeah, Rongina, I hear you. So Rongina and I both struck out trying to get PS5s this week. So that's a big news story this week. PlayStation 5, impossible to get. I had a heartbreaking moment where I had one in my cart in the Walmart thing, and then when I went to check out, it was sold out. So
wait. What does that even mean?
PlayStation 5's coming out. It's impossible to get.
You're doing it on the computer.
I was doing it online. Yeah, no. I didn't go to Walmart.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, like, I know people, but I feel like everyone that I have been talking to has gotten them.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
How'd they get them? If anyone knows how to get one, let me know, dude. Hang on, let me do a couple.
I just know that I know everyone was talking about today, and everyone I asked is like, "Did you get one?" Everyone's like, "Yeah, I got it." I'm like, "Is it awesome?"
Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Yeah, everyone's got them.
It's killing me. Hang on. Hold on and hang on donated. He says, I have a bunch of terrible meetings all week, stressed about rising numbers, and I look forward to unwinding Friday evenings listening to the best of flagship shows. Thank you. Thank you. Hold on and hang on.
Thank you.
Crawlspace Kid donated. He says, just checking in on my favorite boys before I have to work, sending love and money. It is appreciated, and it is going towards the movie. Thank you so much. And then M12 Sarge donated. He says, my state is going under lockdown again. Might as well get high and watch this tugboat show. Sexy socks rule. Okay, well, you can fuck yourself. I would ban you, but you donated $10. So
I'm pretty sure he's being ironic.
It just riles me up, you know? I can't help it. Zach, check Costco for PS5. Okay, I'll check it after this. Do you guys know about cum dogs? It's basically hot dogs, but with cum on them. My friend ate one the other day, and I don't know if I can talk to him anymore. Okay.
So it's like a ookie cookie thing, but with a hot dog?
Sometimes I just start reading these before I know where they're going, and then I get very disappointed with the words that come out of my mouth.
It would be slow if you actually read them before you read them.
No, I just pick one and launch into it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody said cum dog millionaire, which I think is kind of funny.
Yeah, that's all right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I
had a Impossible Burger just now. I just grilled up top. Have you had these Impossible Burgers?
I think I did.
Dude, it's crazy. They're like...
It's good?
It's so good. It tastes like a burger. It's nuts. Would you eat lab-grown meat?
Probably.
Yeah, like a steak that was grown in a petri dish.
I don't think I care where it comes from.
I wouldn't give a shit.
No.
I don't understand all these people like, ew, no, never. It's like, it's not pooping. It's not suffering. It's the same thing. It's not going to have like all these hormones from like, you know, antibiotics all over it. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Would you eat, if they lab grew human flesh, would you eat that? Just to see what it tastes like?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you?
I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know.
What's the argument against?
Well, I heard once that if you eat humans, you go crazy. But it might be an urban legend, you know. I heard that.
I mean, there's a lot of cannibal cultures, dude.
Yeah, but they're not like good cultures. I mean, what's the successful cannibal culture?
I'm sure there is one, and I know somebody in chat knows.
Which cannibal culture invented something that we still use?
Hang on. Rongina says, there was a dude that went to some country to taste human flesh so he could then simulate the flavor. He ended up making human jerky. Well, that doesn't make sense. He made human jerky to simulate the flavor of human flesh, or he made beef jerky to simulate the flavor?
Yeah, if you're making human jerky, you don't like the taste of humans. You like the taste of jerky.
Yeah. Yeah, I would do it. I would eat it. Apparently, you can't really tell the difference. In fact, today I'm reading a book, and they're talking about Ed Gein, and you know he was always bringing his neighbors meat, and they ate it, and then later after everything came out about him that he was a serial killer who would like wear women's skin as clothes and everything, he was like, oh, I've never killed a deer in my life. They thought they were eating deer meat, and it was human meat. So it can't be that different from you know, venison.
Oh, here's something that is kind of a callback. I got really obsessed with the Donner Party for a while.
Dude, have you read the Indifferent Stars Above?
Yeah. Well, no, I haven't read that.
Phenomenal book.
I got that one documentary that PBS made a long time ago and is out of print. Like, my wife found a copy for me and she bought it for like a birthday. Like, so I have it. I should let you borrow it. It's incredible. I would
love to watch it.
It's basically one of the scariest horror films.
Can I tell my favorite moment from this book, The Indifferent Stars Above, which is about the Donner Party. This is so fucking dark. The book is it's a horror story that just happened to people. Yeah. So, you know, they get and they made stupid mistakes. Like they should have left 2 months earlier than they did. So like everyone warned them, like if you leave now, you're gonna get snowed in. And then
everyone's born before 1960 was like a moron.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yes. I'm gonna keep talking. So
I'm right here.
And they take this new path that they were good. Yeah, The Shining. That's right. They take this new path through the mountains that has like not been tested. That some con artist is gonna like take them on this new route. And so of course they get behind. They go into this like new foreign mountain pass. They get snowed in. They find this little camp and they're like in there and they cannot leave. And there's like say 15 of them. They are starving to death. They are freezing to death. They're gonna die, right? They're eating each other at the camp, which is like totally understandable. And we would have done the exact same thing if we were in that situation. But these guys from the West Coast figure out that like they got to be stuck. Like somebody escapes. Here's a crazy part. They need to make this into a movie. One of the members of the Donner Party stabbed one of the fucking con artists, and they were gonna hang him. So he escaped. He split off from the party and he went around. And he actually got to California safely. And he told everyone, he was like, they're fucking trapped. Like, you guys got to go save them. So he sent this rescue party. And they go and they find these people that are just like human ghouls at this point. And they're like carrying this woman and 3 children. Like, they got to just take a couple people at a time. So they're trying to go over the pass. And they can't take them. They can't carry them. So they leave a woman and 3 kids in this like on the snow bluff, and they start a little fire for them, and they're like, just stay around the fire, keep the fire burning, we'll be back in like 2 days. So they leave, and when they come back, the fire had burned down into the snow and created this giant crater, and it got so deep that they couldn't crawl out. But while they were down there, one of them died, and so this woman and her 2 children just start eating this body. And so the fucking guys come back from their first rescue sortie, and they come back, and when they get there, they see the smoke over the hill, and as they approach, it's like this crater, and they can't see in, and when they get to the lip of the crater, they look down, and it's just covered in blood and human bones, and this woman and this little girl are like caked in blood, and they're staring up hungry, like they just ate this kid, and now they're like ready for more food. I mean, how fucking horrific is that? It's the coolest fucking moment. I just told that story forever, but it was good.
No, it's a like fascinating thing to see, like when everything that you learn from being a kid, like all of society and all the social things that are programmed onto you, when all that gets stripped away, how everybody they're just animals, like, kind of thing. Like it's a fascinating. The what I was going to say about that is a couple of the children lived through the whole thing, and they were adopted by other families, and they tried to go back into like society, but they were always described as having wild eyes afterwards. Like the kids were never normal. Like it was just they looked through people, and like, so I was just thinking, the dead eyes thing, they had like they were crazy. Traumatized. I did a whole Disney episode about the Donner Party. I had to like hide it, but that was like a premise of an episode I wanted to do. I was fascinated with it.
Have you seen Cannibal the Musical? I know you have not. It's great. Well, no, it's not great, but it's great for what it is. It's a guy's college thesis, and it's great for that. Anyway. Wait, did the episode, somebody's asking, did the episode that you made, did it get made, or did you try and make it? It got made. Oh, is it on Just Roll With It?
Yeah, it's one of, I'm trying to think of which season it is. I think it's the first season. Yeah.
Somebody says, who is this? BJ Honeycutt says, talk about the Just Roll With It where you imply that the mother killed bin Laden.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple where I imply that.
Okay.
Yeah, in my mind, she did, because she was a Marine. I actually tried to get the guy who shot bin Laden and killed him. I tried to get him on the show to do like a cameo, because I thought that'd be really kind of funny.
That guy's not that funny.
Well, no, that was the thing. So like I wrote this thing where it's like, and then we'll have the guy who killed bin Laden. And to me, it was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, that he pops up, and I just kind of wanted to meet him, which is why I wrote it in. But then I guess he had like a drunk driving thing or something, like,
really?
So like he didn't pass. Like they're like, no, he can't be on the show.
Yeah.
Like he killed bin Laden, allegedly. Allegedly.
Right. Because I'm still not convinced that all of SEAL Team 6 wasn't killed for faking the death of Bin Laden, and this other SEAL Team 6 are the imposters.
I'm just not convinced a guy on dialysis in 2001 lives in a shitty Pakistan like house until
the whole world is hunting him.
I know, but I mean,
where do you think he's going to be?
He lives in a house that looked shittier than the houses that I lived in when I was 20.
He's the most wanted human on the planet.
So that's what I'm saying. He's on dialysis for 11 years in a shithole.
I don't know why you think this dialysis thing somehow entitles him to a nicer house.
No, I'm saying I don't think you can live without dialysis.
Well, maybe he was getting it.
Where?
Or maybe he got better. I don't fucking know.
You don't get better.
You don't get better?
From dialysis? No, you don't need dialysis and then with no surgery all of a sudden you don't need it anymore.
I don't know. The Black Phillip says the Aztec and Maya were great civilizations that engaged in ritualistic cannibalism. Look up the city of Tenochtitlan and Palenque sometime. Okay, well, you learned us something. All right. He was less than a mile from the Pakistani military headquarters, somebody says. I don't know that.
Yeah, I bet Pakistan knew about it. Allegedly.
Do you think Pakistan stole them out? I don't want to. Well, they pretended to be pissed at us, right?
I don't want to libel Pakistan, but yeah, it's basically what's the big military base here in the United States? A big
There's
one.
A lot.
But name one. What's a big one?
Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg. It's basically the guy was living across the street from Fort Bragg. He was right in their big military thing, And I remember when they found his hard drive, they got his computers, and it was they said it was all porn, but who knows if that's true? Because you just want to embarrass the guy, so they're oh yeah, he had all this porn on his computer. But then the other thing that they said was that he had downloaded the video to "Charlie Bit My Finger."
Bin Laden had?
Yeah. which is amazing.
Oh my God.
He's that's fucking funny. I don't want to have to search for that later. Download it. I want to be.
That is so fucking funny. That is a very charming video, dude.
Yeah, but also the other thing is he had 37 kids or something. It could have been one of his kids.
Yeah, it could have been one of his kids.
Yeah.
What is the hardest you've laughed at a stupid internet video?
Atlanta Grape Lady.
Yeah. Me too. And was it the same moment where we were both watching it at work?
Probably. Yeah.
I remember I was crying. I was holding my sides. I was I had to leave the room.
Yeah. No, that was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen. If you guys don't know, I'm sure everyone does, but it's the lady who's stomping grapes and she falls over, and the way that her voice sounds when she basically bruises her trachea. You know what I started looking up last night, which was awesome? Hippo attacks.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, that's a good thing to go look up.
I heard a statistic that hippos kill 8 people a year.
They kill way more people than you. No, I think it's more than that. I think it's more than you would be really hippos, but you forget that the rest of a lot of the planet is still dealing with hippos.
Can somebody look this up? 500? Get the fuck out of here. How many? Somebody tell us. How many?
Dude, hippos are fucking assholes. They're basically dinosaurs. If you watch these attack videos and you see how they attack things, they're dinosaurs.
What do they do? They just shake you like a dog, or what do they do?
Yeah, their mouths are giant, so
500.
It's the whole. And they shake them, and they're fast as shit. They're fucking fast, and they're pissed off. They're always pissed off. That's the thing. Hippos are never having a good day. They're always pissed every time you see them. I went to a safari in Africa. And we would drive, and you'd see all these, fucking leopards and all this shit. And then when we'd see hippos, they'd be all right.
No shit.
Stay away from these fuckers. Yeah.
Sarah did a safari in Africa, and she said that they had a similar attitude towards baboons. There was a dude who was in a tree, and his whole job was he would just look for baboons when they stopped to eat lunch or something. And they were if he yells baboon, you get in the truck and you close the door. You don't grab your phone, you just run. It's pretty terrifying. Yeah. Remember that story in Florida about the Was it chimps that escaped? Maybe it was baboons. They escaped
Yeah.
the zoo.
Yep.
And they like got loose in suburban Florida.
No, they hid in a garage.
Well, they hid in this garage, and then this couple came out, an elderly couple came out into their garage to get in their car, and these two baboons, I'm going to say baboons, grabbed the man by his feet and hands, and they were slamming him on the ground like he was like a jump rope, and one of them pulled his foot off.
And his dick. They
And
pull
his
your dick off.
right? And pull
The
his
first
dick
thing they
off.
do, they try, like, baboons are assholes. And so the first thing they do is they try to pull your nuts off. Then they basically pull your hands off, or each finger, like anything that's like loose, like, you know, so they can just like rip off easily. They pull off your fingers and your dick, and then yeah, they're fucking assholes.
And then the neighbor across the street saw this happening. He ran outside with his handgun and he shot them both, which is like, that's the weirdest 5 minutes I mean, Florida's a weird place. That's the weirdest 5 minutes.
Well, can you imagine also, you're 80 years old, you lived 80 years. So also, if this happened like in the last 20 years, like you lived through World War II, you know, you like got dropped on fucking Normandy, and you like did all this stuff, and you're like, that was crazy. And you're like, now I'm 80, I'm going to go to Costco with my 80-year-old wife and just like, you know, watch Wheel of Fortune. And you open the door, and then a baboon just jumps out and rips your dick off. And then you're just screaming as it's pulling your face off. And your wife is like, what? You just have to, as you're dying, being like, life is weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I did not see this coming. And then, like, can you imagine the phone call? Like, okay, so like somebody has to call the daughter, and then the daughter's calling her brother, and like, Dad died. What? How?
You'll never
Two
guess.
baboons. Yeah. Yeah. She's like, first of all, before I tell you, guess.
Guess.
He's like, cancer. No, guess again. Car crash.
That's how you do that sketch, and then you cut to 24 hours later, and she's like, I just want to know. And she's like, you're close. Try one more time. Guess again.
He's like, a bear. No. Not a bear. A wolf.
A monkey?
God, I want to tell so sort of a monkey.
It's kind of a monkey. What kind of monkey?
By the time he gets it, he's not even sad anymore. He's like, baboons, God.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
It might be a good way to break the news to somebody. They're like, oh, okay, baboons. Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God.
We basically did this sketch. This is the classroom sketch.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, yeah. Hang on, let me do a couple quick thank yous. We're getting some donations. I always read the quotes for the donations. Lunar Elephant donated. He says, when can we get that movie frequently FAQ? That's a great one. We really should, we should do it tomorrow.
What?
We need to do like a video about like frequently asked questions about the movie we're raising money for. People want to know what they're donating for.
Let's do it tomorrow.
Let's do it tomorrow. All right. Thank you, Derek. Good call.
Somebody says, wait.
Hang on, let me.
Okay.
I got donations here. Hang on. Comrade Yaf donated. He says, I just thought of something. How is he tap dancing on top of all that snow? I don't even know what you're talking about.
What?
How is he? What? Donated. Says, Trevor, which episode of Roll With It was about that Donner Party?
I'm trying. It was the snow. There was a snowstorm episode.
Yeah. Nelson 207 donated $50. Thank you, Nelson. You're very generous. He says, hey guys, what's the deal with all the Timmy hate? You seem to make him the brunt of the joke a lot. My money is for Team Timmy. I'm going to ban him. Hang on a second. Let me type the ban command in here for this guy.
Why all the Timmy hate? I don't actually think there's a lot of Timmy hate.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. We love Timmy. I think Timmy and I say I love you more than I say I love you to anyone else in this sketch group.
I think Timmy gets a little sensitive sometimes. Like he you can tell when something gets under Timmy's skin, and I think that makes it seem worse than I think it is. But
yeah. Also, it's like we're always jabbing at each other constantly, but when Timmy gets jabbed, he reacts differently, and it feels like a thing happened that didn't happen. And by the way, for me, sometimes, and I've been open about this, that's blood in the water, and that makes me want to go at him even harder. If somebody says, no, you're a dick. Okay, well, fuck you.
Someone says, even Timmy is sick of this. Maybe. Could be. It could be.
All right.
But I mean, that's but there's no, from this end, there's no Timmy hate,
Yeah, no, we do not hate Timmy. In fact, we are obsessed with Timmy in a weird way. And everything we've ever written for money, we've always written a Timmy character in.
Yeah. He's our muse.
He is our muse.
Yeah.
We wanted to make a documentary about him. We still may.
Yeah.
But like we seriously were considering like going to South Dakota and shooting a short documentary about Timmy.
We were also considering the three of us going up to South Dakota and just hanging out in bars in his town and taking all these photos of us hanging out with like local, because it's a small town, like all these places in South Dakota, and then waiting, not calling Timmy at all, not telling him, but being in Watertown, South Dakota. And then when we all got on the plane to go back, then uploading all the pictures, like, so that he was like, wait, you were here and you didn't? And we're like, oh, it just didn't cross our mind.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
I think
Oh, yeah, you do
fun.
live there. Oh, wow. Fuck. Timmy is an interesting fellow, says Doll Liquor. Go fuck yourself. That's what we're saying, man.
He is interesting.
He's fascinating. He's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody says that would be so fucking mean. Would it be mean or would it be kind of flattering? I'm honestly asking. I don't know. I could see how it'd be sort of mean, I guess, but I don't know.
See, here's the thing. Sometimes things that are mean are funny. And so you just got to decide,
that it's not mean.
You just got to decide what you're committed to in this life. Are you committed to being funny? Or are you committed to being nice? And then there you go. That's
Personally, I think nice people are pretty boring.
I know so many nice people.
Yeah. And I don't hang out with them.
They suck.
Yeah. Hang on. GC Vax says, I think Timmy's a fucking big boy and can handle it. If he wasn't happy with how his friends treat him, fellas, you don't gotta simp or police the people entertaining you. Fucking, what's the opposite of banning someone?
Making someone a mod?
Yeah, I don't want to do that. As long as you don't screw him over in real life, I think it's all okay. Dude, we have not screwed Timmy over. Let me tell you that right now. All right,
No.
we've taken care of that guy. And he's taking care of us. I'm just saying. No one's screwed Timmy over.
It is. I like how there is a whole bunch of Timmy simps. I like that.
There's Timmy Simps and Darren Simps. There are no Trevor, Zach, and Sam Simps. There's none. Which is totally fine. We don't fucking need them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, we don't need simps. We don't want
looking
simps.
for a
You know
simp. I wouldn't respect you if you did simp for me, so save your energy.
We log in Friday night and we fucking do the work. That's what we do. So simp whoever the hell you want.
Oh my god. What else happened in the news this week, guys? What's the story? Has anything happened? I have been truly unplugged, man. I'm not doing any of my political podcasts anymore. I'm not compulsively checking the paper.
I'm enjoying the two presidents. I like this. Alex
Trebek died.
Oh, that's true. That's sad.
That is sad. I liked him a lot.
Yeah. Super rich, that guy.
Sure.
I remember I saw I forget where I was. I was in Belize, and there was a massive yacht in the harbor, and I was like, "Who's that?" And they were like, "It's probably Alex Trebek. He comes down here." And I was like, "That's not the guy I thought."
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have guessed. I would have guessed baboons killed my dad quicker than I would have guessed that yacht's Alex Trebek.
Wait, you were on a game show. You were on, were you on the dating game?
I was on the dating
Or was
game.
it Blind Date? What is it?
No, I was on the dating game in 1998.
So I remember I watched the tape. It was pretty funny. You were very mean to the lady, right?
I was very mean. Yeah. She did not like me. It was they brought the dating game back in the 90s. And there was this, it was Chuck Woolery, the whole thing. And the day I graduated high school, I got on a bus and came out to LA. to do like stand up at like the Comedy Store and Laugh Factory and things like that. And so what they would do to try to make the show interesting is they would always go to the comedy clubs and they would take a comedian and have them. So one guest was always a comedian, but you weren't supposed to say you were a comedian, you know, so that there would be some like funny answers in each episode kind of thing. So they asked me, and I'm like 18, you know, I'm 18 years old. I'm like, all right, cool. So I was bachelor number 3, and then they and it was like 2 like really good looking dudes like that they got from like Santa Monica, like basically like and then it was just like me, and I was like writing jokes. So I also wrote the good looking, the himbos like answers, like because they have us all sitting in a room.
No
they're
shit.
like, yeah, they're like, what do I say to this? I'm like, here, say this like that. But they were very crazy about it. Like, you know, if I went to go to the bathroom, they had to have somebody with me, because if I saw the girl before the show, the whole show had to be canceled, because there was like
why?
There's legal things, because if they're saying that they have never seen each other before the show, they legally, because remember there was something in the 50s.
Who gives a shit?
Well, no, there was a huge lawsuit from that's what there's a movie called Quiz Show, which is about it.
With Ray Fiennes. I
yeah, they were kind of fudging some stuff, and then the show got its like ass handed to it. So now everything, all this game show stuff has to be fucking 100%.
And like on your Just Roll With It, you guys have to like, you have to have, explain the premise of your show, because I'm sure a lot of people don't understand what it is. I'm gonna get a beverage, but
sure. I do a show where we the cast, you know, it's a regular sitcom, but then at 3 different points in the show, a buzzer goes off. The cast has no idea when the buzzer is going to go off, and then the studio audience votes on what happens. But yeah, we have to. It all has to be completely legit. Like they even have like people from the network who are in there watching the votes be tallied to make sure that me and my writing partner don't like put our thumb on the scale for the thing that we really want. So yeah, I mean, basically all those shows now, because of you can get sued, they've all got to be like legit. So we did this show, and the dating game show, and the lady they hated me because all my stuff was mean. Like, you know, it all had to be stuff that would pass. I remember one of them was like, you know, I think she was like, how would I pick you out in a crowd? Like, she was like, if I was standing on the top of the Empire State Building and I looked down at a sea of people that looked like ants, how would I know which one was you? And so like the first guy was kind of like, well, I'd, you know, smile and you'd see these pearly whites. And he was like doing his thing. The audience is going nuts like that. And then I said, I'd be the guy holding a sign that said jump like that. But they left it in. You know, they were fine with doing it, but then she did not like me.
What was her reaction when you said that? Was she like, oh?
Because she's like a pretty girl that people probably aren't actually mean to.
Yeah. It's funny when you're mean to someone who's like never had anyone be mean to them. Like, yeah. I did a pilot with Kat McPhee.
Who's that?
Kat McPhee. She's like a big famous star.
I'm gonna look her up. I don't know anyone's names, but I'm gonna look her up. Hold on.
She's she started on American Idol, and then she did like 1,000 TV shows.
But she's pretty.
Somebody says I'm balding. I don't think I'm balding, dude. But she hated me because of one thing I said. Like, I was, first of all, she's a musician, or she pretends she is. And I remember I was like talking about Bob Dylan. I was like, what's your favorite Bob Dylan song? She's like, oh, I don't listen to old music. And I was like, Bob Dylan? You don't listen to... And so from then on, we were just like, I thought she was an idiot and she didn't like me. I remember we were doing like some publicity stills where we were like back to back or something like this. And she said something that pissed me off. And I just made like the stupidest joke where I was just like, why don't you go get McFucked? I thought it was like, it's not even clever, but I was just like, why don't you go get McFucked? And then I like went over to craft service thinking like, who cares? Who gives a shit? She was so pissed, dude.
That is an aggressive joke.
I don't care.
Why don't you get McFucked? It's funny. I love it. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Whatever. That pilot did not go forwards.
Go fuck yourself, someone says. That's great. Ugh.
But it's funny. It's like I could see in that moment when I said it, like no one had ever been like kind of a dick to her, like in her adult life. I'm getting a lot of wow Zacks now. I wish I could ban everyone who says wow Zach.
Oh, you don't like it?
I just think it's lazy, and it just shows that you're,
I think you've got your little catchphrase though.
That's right. Maybe I should lean into it. Maybe I should make shirts that just say wow Zach.
It's wow Zach Nation.
Zach, wow Zach. Wow Zach.
Dude, why don't you go get McFucked is great. That's really funny.
Fucked.
That's really funny.
Yeah. That was that Pink House show.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you've had a lot of people that you've done acting with that or co-stars that are
that hate you.
No, but like
you burned a lot of bridges in this town, Zach. How do you do it?
Yeah. No, but like have these like Drake Bell wanted to be a musician.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's very normal for an actor to also fancy themselves a musician, right?
Yeah, because actors are like, I'm not just an actor.
I just kind of stumbled into this. I mean, I'm happy to do it. Don't get me wrong, but it's not my passion. But you hear that a lot.
I'm what you'd call a multi-threat.
Yeah.
A triple threat.
Well, here we go. Conlap says, Zach's eyes are too close together. Well, you spelled two wrong, you ignorant idiot. But yeah, that is something I'm a little self-conscious about. I remember I was in New York. I went to this bar.
You think this is a legit thing? Your eyes are too close together?
A little bit. Just a little bit. I think I see it. I remember I went to go meet my friend Ange in a bar in New York, and she was like having drinks with some girl. And I walked in, the girl, I was like, hey. She's like, oh, this is, Stephanie, this is Zach. I was like, hi. She shook my hand and goes, your eyes are so close together. It was like, that was the first thing she ever said to me.
Let me see.
Like,
take your glasses off again.
I'm not really worried about it, by the way, but
I don't know. I don't see why you would think they're too close together. I mean, they're just fucking eyes. I mean, how wide are eyes supposed to be apart?
Well, I don't know. King of the Hill eyes, somebody says.
Man, people are leaning in on you. They're saying you're bald. They're saying your eyes are too close together.
Yeah, dude. Hey, man. When you're on tap, I don't know. Finish that sentence.
Everybody makes fun of your eyes and your hair.
There you go. When you're on top, people are going to say your eyes are too close together.
Yeah.
Principal Rolls donated $25. He says, it's been a tough week. Thanks for cheering me up. Hope you feel better, Trevor. Thanks, Principal Rolls. Prop Like It's Hot donated. He says, any advice for a theater technician trying to switch to film in Georgia? No. Sorry, man.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. Meadows Hands donated. It says, first time I've gotten to catch Newsboyz live in a long time. Good to see you guys. Hashtag Choom Room. Thank you, Meadows Hands. DJ Gentle Giant donated, and he says, last dollar in my bank account. Thanks for giving me something to look forward to. Y'all rock. Hey, buddy.
Oh, shit. Nobody give the last dollar in their bank account.
Yeah.
Let's put a stop to that.
Yeah, if you want that dollar back, let us know. Comrade Yaff donated, says, love you guys and am hell excited for your upcoming projects. Thanks, bud. P.S. I'm sorry I keep making random references that Zach has to read off. I'm not aware of this, but it's okay.
Someone says, I'm going to read a comment, but it's about me. That's a little narcissistic, but
that's all I've been doing.
It says, Trevor seems like an asshole in real life.
Okay.
True or not, I defended him.
I can definitively say that Trevor is not an asshole in real life.
I don't think I'm an asshole.
You are not. You're a very nice person.
Yeah. I think we've got a bunch of fucking Timmy Simps in here. That's what it is.
Yeah. Unsilent Storm says, to be honest, I think Trevor and I would get along great. So there you go. What else happened this week?
So there was a hold on. I'm gonna go look at a news thing. I've been shooting this week, so I don't really know.
Have you checked
Okay,
FARC? FARK.
No.
Remember that? I guess FARC is still a thing.
No.
Wait, Pompeo said some crazy. Oh, wait a minute. Did you see John Voight? His whole spiel.
I heard, but I didn't see it.
That was pretty.
Should we watch
amazing.
it? Should
Yeah,
we
let's watch it. Will you pull that up? That's worth watching.
John Voight.
You can kind of start it like around 40%.
John Voight. Isn't he?
Angelina Jolie's dad.
Is he?
Yes.
And she hates him.
Yeah. I also think I hate him.
What?
Yeah.
The Voight?
Yeah, John Voight. Yeah.
Why would you hate John Voight?
Watch this video.
Dude, have you ever seen? He did this old movie that's so fucking good.
If you say Deliverance or Midnight Cowboy, I'm just going to be amazed.
No, it's hold on, I'm going to IMDb.
By the way, have you seen Deliverance in a while? That movie is
No, this movie is fucking sick. He's like the bad guy. Mission Impossible. Have you seen that?
Are you kidding right now? Mission
It's
Impossible?
so fucking good.
You have
Like
to
he's the
Google
bad guy,
Mission Impossible?
and then he pulls his face off, and it's like not him. So good, dude. Legend.
I have not seen it.
Oh, you gotta. All right, here we go.
All right, let's watch this fucking moron.
It's just so funny. I mean, like the fact that like any actor is like, oh, they want to hear what I'm going to say about politics is insane because like, you know, most people are dumb, but like, you know, there is nothing about acting that you have to be that smart for.
No, nothing.
Yeah. So it's just like, you know, so like the fact that like actors are like, oh, everyone is wondering. It's just narcissism. Like, oh,
Yeah.
here's what I think. Like, but then also John Voight, like no one's been a John Voight fan since like 1970 or something like that. Like, who is he talking to? Everyone that are like, he's like the last guy alive from his generation.
Yeah.
How do I do this widescreen? Okay. All right, I'm going to, okay, here we go.
Somebody says, since Baby Genius is in space. Is that a real movie he did? Oh my God.
All right, let's see what John Voight wants to say.
Americans, I stand here with all that feel as I do, disgusted with this lie that Biden has been chosen. As if we all don't know the truth.
Oh God.
And when one tries to deceive, we know that one can't get away with it. There
Why do
will
they have
be a
his
price
cue
to
cards
pay.
so far away from the lens? Like they have his cue cards over
Yeah,
here.
The
exactly.
ones who are jumping for joy
Put
now
the cue cards above the camera.
are jumping toward the horror they will be in for. Because I know that the promises being made from the left to the American people will never come to be.
This is so boring already.
Good.
Like,
That's why I was
My
saying go to
friends
40%
of
where
all
it gets
colors, races,
cuckoo
and
bananas.
religions.
I'm at 40%.
Yeah.
now.
Okay. All right.
This is now our greatest fight since the Civil War. The battle of righteousness versus Satan. Yes, Satan.
Oh, Satan's involved in this?
Because these leftists are evil, corrupt,
Okay.
and they want to tear down this nation.
He's got a point there.
We must not allow this.
Okay.
We must fight this corruption that has taken over
Where are you looking?
and fight for the good that seems lost.
Who are you looking at? Look
Let
at
us
me.
give our trust to God
Okay.
and fight now for Trump's victory, because we all know this ballot count is corruption like they are. So let us not back down. Let us fight this fight as if it is our last fight on earth.
Well, you're old. We're young.
As Muhammad Ali said, it's not over till the last punch you have.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure Muhammad Ali would be right
bless.
there beside you on this one. You fucking doddering old piece of shit. I've never wanted to say Hail Satan with more passion in my life, but fucking Hail Satan.
Well, I
that
still
dude.
love the dude because Mission Impossible is fucking sick. But
Oh my God.
that's just like, yeah, who the fuck doesn't he have? How old is he? And who's taking care of him? Like, who's like, oh, fucking Grandpa Voight like saw the news and he got a thing that he wants to say, like, you know, who's like, yo, yeah, film it and put it up and make an ass of him, like, you know.
Fucking moron. I'm gonna run an ad. I talked to the guy at Twitch and he's like, you should be running ads. So ad time.
What? What does that mean?
He's
Did
like,
we go away?
That's like how you got to be doing this, I guess. You got to be running ads. We don't do it nearly enough. He's like, you should be running 3 to 4 ads an hour.
Can we talk over the ads?
Yeah. So if people are sub, they don't see them.
Oh.
So if you sub, you don't see the ads. But if you're just a follower or just a watcher, then you get the ad.
So it's like a fucked up caste system.
Totally, dude. We only value dollars here, man.
Dude.
Yeah. 100%.
We're like super. This is like a very Ayn Rand thing we're doing right now.
Yeah, totally.
Is it happening? Is it happening right now?
Yeah, I ran one and I'm seeing a lot of people saying like, dead stream. The stream is dead. Greedy boys. Fuck these ads. Fuck you guys, man. Come on now.
So now we're just talking. Now we're just talking to people who have subbed, right?
I don't know how it works.
What is the ad for? Can you see what the ad's for?
No, I have no idea. Annie Hayes just gifted like a prince. Thanks, Annie Hayes. He's taking the ads off for a lot of these people. That's very kind of you. Let me do some of these thank yous. Hendo Calrissian, thanks, my man. Machublo, Annie Hayes, Hobo Gadling, thanks, dude. Meadow Hands, Handa Fire, Professor Tiki, Lady Duct Tape, Ellis Rogers 1090, Toko 1414, thank you. Wrong Star, love you, bud. Tugboat Johnson 89, Bad Horse 6116, Jeremiah Reese, thanks, dudes. People are going for it. Aramgard, very kind of you all. I appreciate it.
Somebody said, "Why White Claw? Support your local brewery."
All right, don't tell him what to drink. Let me do.
Well, you know what? Go ahead.
I was gonna do some thank yous, but if you got something to say, this can work.
I was just gonna say I actually don't love beer, so I like really watered down shit. Like if you ask me like my favorite beer, it's probably like Corona. But then also like I like Coors Light. Like I'm like such a basic taste. My beer taste is like my music taste.
I'm with
like,
you.
I don't really,
when I drink
like
beer, Budweiser, Coors Light, that's what I want. Stella,
yeah,
Corona.
Because being cold is more important than flavor to me.
Yeah.
And so I like beer that's very cold, and I feel like the stuff with more water in it gets colder.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So I don't like the most of the breweries around here, like my brother-in-law is really into them, and I always drink them. I'm like, this is like warm, you know.
Cody J-Man donated, says, I know Trevor wasn't an asshole. My friend was wrong. Only Tom Hanks is an asshole.
That's true.
A little reference to your song.
Well, you heard about him calling that guy Dead Eyes.
Yeah. Mellon Pupper donated. He says, Trevor's one of the nicest people I have met. I met him during one of the Whitest Kids shows in Philly, and he gave me hugs and even quoted an old Whitest Kids sketch when I asked, and he could have said no. He is very nice. Fuck whoever says he's an asshole. Wow.
Thank you.
We got a Trevor simp here.
Yeah.
What fuck Gary donated. He says, I quit my job today. Can you talk shit about Ross Dress for Less? Dude, fuck Ross Dress for Less, man. That's all I got.
What? Yeah. What? Is that like a dress barn type of place?
Exactly. Good shit talking, Trevor. Nice.
Yeah. Ross Dress for Less. How did Ross Dress for Less survive Corona?
Yeah, right.
You know, Cheesecake Factory went out of business. Like the Gap is going out of business, but Ross Dress for Less survives. It batters that storm.
Wait, did Cheesecake Factory really go out of business?
Yeah, it's gone. No more.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I've only been in Cheesecake Factory once in my life. I was a high school kid.
I have only been in it twice in my life, and it was in January of this year. Because I'd never been to one, and I was talking about it, and so my wife and I went to one, and I was like, I love this place. This is great. It's like 40 different menus. I can have something. I can have a burrito, and I can also have like, you know,
sushi.
Yeah, exactly. It's everything. And then we went again the next week, and then the coronavirus happened, and they're like, all right, those are gone. Like I ruined it basically.
There's no way Amy likes the Cheesecake Factory.
No.
Yeah. Right.
No. She's annoyed at most things I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Mad Mountaineer donated $50. Thanks, Mad Mountaineer. Very generous. And he says, does this come with a butter bar? Good luck with the fundraising. Thanks, buddy. And Kamana Bond donated $20. And he says, thanks for all the content. I look forward to the streams all week. Aw, well, I'm glad you're here, my friend. Thanks for being here.
People are saying Cheesecake Factory is not closing. They're saying I'm lying, but I swear I read a thing that said it was.
What about the Gap? Is the Gap really closing?
Yeah, they're like they're fucked up too.
That kind of makes me sad.
I saw well, you love the Gap.
You know I'm a Gap guy, right? You know that about me, right?
No, I saw there's like a BuzzFeed kind of clicky thing, which also like I've been clicking a lot of those recently without knowing it. Like there'll be like I'll see something, or not even BuzzFeed, it'll just be something like, guess what actresses look ugly now? And I'm like, ooh, and I'm like, oh no, it's a thing. Like, you know, you have to click every picture. I fucking hate it. But they had one of businesses that are going out of business, and Gap was on there.
Well, sorry, Gap. Somebody says, where is Zach's washer and dryer? Right there. Let's see if I can get a little. There you go. Right over there. It's a lot messier over on that side of the room.
What do you got? Are they those fucking whirlpools?
I think they're Kenmore, but I'm not sure. They came with the house.
Nice.
Yeah. I would pay for a Wow Zach t-shirt. All right. Well,
we should do that. We need to do another round of shirts. Although I've seen some things, like someone sent me a DM saying that like they're not good quality.
I saw somebody on Reddit say that like, hey, I washed my shirt and it looks like shit. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, which sucks because I don't want to do that.
No, I don't want to do that either.
But like I have two, because I've ordered two things from our thing. I got a Sex Robot shirt and I got a Whitest Kids hoodie.
And they're okay?
They're fine, but I don't know if I'm just like getting. I don't know which one.
On the Reddit thread where that guy was talking about how his shirt got fucked up in the wash, a lot of other people were on the same thread saying mine's fine. So I don't think it's like they're all bad, but it is concerning. Somebody said that somebody messaged me and was like, "You guys should use 24-hour tees."
Someone says, "Yep, they're so bad."
They're so bad. Okay, well that sucks.
Yeah. Or you could do what I do and don't wash your clothes.
Yeah, like a man. Like a real man. Professor Martha. Go ahead.
I don't mean. I was going to say I don't mean to be glib about that. Like, if that is an issue, we should.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. Somebody says I got a shirt and mine was janky shit. All right, that's not good. All right, so we should probably fix that this week. I feel bad. Yeah. Anyway, Professor Marth Live donated and says my friend once hover-handed Trevor at the room showing. The room showing, and Trevor didn't kill him, so Trevor's pretty cool. What does that mean, hover-handed?
It's usually awkward. Like it's awkward people who like feel. It's usually when it's like guys and girls, you know, and somebody doesn't feel comfortable like putting their hand on like a girl's shoulder. Mm-hmm. So they just do the illusion of it, where it just floats above it. You see it all the time in photos. It's like people who are like,
okay, for a photo,
they're nervous about actually touching people, so they like. I hover-handed this week, because somebody somebody was leaving for the season on the show, and I was like, goodbye, like that, and then they were like, can we get a picture? And I'm like, I haven't touched people for like 8 months, you know, like I'm very concerned about coronavirus.
Yeah.
And then the person like put their arm on me and I was like, and I like did a hover hand and I took a picture. But it was like, it's because I was like, I don't know. I don't want to get, you know, anything. Yeah. I'm not comfortable touching people.
Yeah. Are you going to do like a Thanksgiving dinner with like family and stuff like that?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Is that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we have the same thing. Like Sarah's family's having a big thing, and some people are flying from Texas, and I'm like, well, I don't want to fucking go. People are flying from out of state.
Is Sarah into that?
She has reservations. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, no. I mean, small. Just my brother-in-law. You know.
Yeah, your pod. You're in a pod.
Yeah, I'm in a pod. But my wife's parents are coming. But like. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking of trying to get everybody tested or something just to be like safe.
That makes sense. But if somebody's flying, it doesn't matter. They're not going to test for like what 6 days or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do.
I know.
Because right now, Corona is higher than it's ever been in America.
It's insane.
It's like it's popped off.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's like when I finish, like I finish my show for the year next Friday. I'm going inside and I'm not coming out till the spring.
Well, we got to shoot our American Legends, dude.
Well, we got to take tests.
All right.
This is the real deal right here. This is like worse than anything we've been through, before.
I know. I think I'm gonna say no to Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
but
especially if they're flying from Texas. Texas
is such a fucking issue. You don't even know.
Texas is the worst state in the whole country right now with it.
And I don't think that the people flying from Texas believe in it either.
The rates of Texas are insane.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Texas is the first state to hit 1 million cases.
Jesus. No, I think California has 1 million.
Nope.
No, I read today.
Well, Texas hit it last week. Texas has surpassed, and California and New York had a head start. They were the first ones to really get hit by it. Texas has surpassed all of them.
Oh, God.
But you're young. You'll probably live through it.
Yeah, but it's fucked up because like they say, like they don't know what it does to you long term. Like it can cause permanent brain damage, dude, for young people. And you might not even know you have it. You could be symptomless, and then it can like do damage to your brain that will last the rest of your heart. It's fucking scary, dude. It's like it's not just like a little thing. It's legit.
Our friend Ivan got it in the first, like right off the bat. He got it in March. Like he's a bartender and a DJ in New York. Mm-hmm. So he was first one to go.
Yeah.
And he got it. He still can't smell or taste.
Are you serious?
Yeah. 9 months later, no smell, no taste. Do you know how fucking crazy that would be not to be able to smell or taste? I don't think we like put enough stock in how much that would suck.
You would lose all joy of eating.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Register Your Homestead donated. Says, can you guys tell us about the weirdest Hollywood party that you've been to? That's a good one. Yes, we can. And Wet Love Making, great name, donated and says, I got my first handy at the Gap. Shame to see it go. Part of my childhood. Will die with it. Yeah, that's too bad. Can you tell us about the weirdest Hollywood party that you've been to? I feel like you go to weirder. I don't go to Hollywood parties really, but I feel like you do.
Have I told the story about the party that I went to with Natasha Lyonne?
At Moby's house?
No. A different one. Have I told you?
Oh, no.
Story?
The one where you were fucked up?
Yeah.
I love this one. This was in New York, though.
This is not a Hollywood. Okay, shit. This doesn't count. Never mind.
No, it counts. It counts. It's good. It counts.
No, but it's not a Hollywood party.
It's a Hollywood people, though.
Right. All right. Okay, so like I'm in New York recording an album, and I'm seeing a bunch of friends of mine that I haven't seen for like a year. Ivan is one of the guys, and we go out the night before I'm supposed to be recording, and we get like blind drunk, like so fucking drunk that like I don't really even remember. Like there was photos. I mean, I climbed up. They had one of those like Con Edison like cranes that you fix like light you fix phone lines with. I crawled up one of those things like and I was like up on one of the like I was like, and I don't remember any of this like but I was walking with all my friends, and I hit a step wrong, and I fell right onto my face onto the pavement, didn't brace it, didn't catch myself with my hands. And I was just like, my whole like side of my face was like ripped. The skin was ripped off. It was like a bloody mess, like, kind of thing. And so like, I woke up the next morning and my face had stuck to the pillow. Like it had like scabbed to the pillow. And I was like, ripping it off.
That's fucking brutal.
And then I like went in to record, and everybody at the studio was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, it's just hanging out with my friends. So then Natasha Lyonne like texts me, and she's like, hey, come uptown to this party. on the Upper West Side, and I'm like, I don't know. She's like, it's gonna be fun. Come on over like that. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm thinking it'll be a big party, like, you know, huge party, and I'll be able to like fade into the background or whatever. We go up, and so I used to be Lorne Michaels' intern, so I know Lorne Michaels' building, and it's at Lorne Michaels' building, and I'm like, oh shit, what's it? What party am I going to over here? Like, and so I get up, I get in the elevator, but it's going one floor above Lorne Michaels' apartment, and it's to Paul Simon's apartment, because Paul Simon's son is throwing a party. So the elevator opens, and Natasha comes to get me, and she sees my face, and she's like, what the fuck happened? Like, you know, and I'm like, oh, I and my first lie was like, oh, I was in a bike race and I fell. That's what I said. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. But I was like, I was at a bike race and I fell with my friends like that. And she's like, you fell in a bike race? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, and I'm like, I can leave. I don't know. She's like, no, it's too late. Come on. Like, so then like we go in, and there's only like 6 or 7 people at this party, and it's Sam and Rushdie. Or
Salmon
Rushdie.
Jesus.
Salmon Rushdie.
Salmon Rushdie. Dude.
It's Salmon Rushdie. And he's got like 2 like hot girls.
Well, that's
like,
his thing.
Yeah. So, and then it's who's the girl from The New Girl?
Zoe Deschanel.
Zoe Deschanel. It's and then it's a couple other people who I'm like, I know who they are, but I can't know their names. Like, you know, I'm like, it's all famous people. And then I'm there with my fucked up face, and everyone, like, it's not something that you can have a conversation with me and not address. It's
kind of perfect. It's kind of the ultimate conversation starter. Like, anyone can approach the guy with the gaping face wound and be like, hey, what's your story, man? You can kind of like, it's a door opener.
Well, yeah, but everyone's coming up, and like Natasha's like, yeah, he was in a bike race with his friends, and they like, you know, he fucked his face up. And so then like and I'm lying. So like the whole night, people are asking me about the race, and I'm like making it up. Like it was like a fucking sitcom where I'm like, oh yeah, and they're like, do you do this? Is this your thing? I'm like, no, I'm just it was just me and my friends racing like that. And they're like, oh, you have a bike here in New York? I'm like, yeah, I keep it at an apartment. Now I've got a fucking apartment.
Oh God.
Like, it's just getting worse. Like, what kind of bike? Like, oh, it's like, you know, I don't even know.
It's a Huffy 10-speed. That's the end of my knowledge of bikes. It's the bike I had when I was 10.
It's a red one.
Yeah,
it's
a red Huffy. It's a red Huffy 10-speed.
Yeah. So that was the most. I mean, I hated that.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. What is yours?
I mean, I don't have a good one. I went to a party at what's his? I don't even know his name. Adam Levine, the guy from the band, Maroon 5 guy. Yeah. I've been to his house a couple times for parties I was required to go to. I did not want to go, but I like had to.
What does that mean?
It was for a show I was in. It was like the rap party was at his house. There's not even a good story here, but he has one of those houses. I don't even know if he lives there. So big famous people move all the time, but he had one of those houses that was like, it's on a hill. It's like floor to ceiling windows, 365 degrees, like the skyline of the city below. It's like, imagine a movie star in the Hollywood Hills. This is exactly that. It looks like that.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like,
BoJack Horseman's house.
Huh? Yeah, BoJack Horseman. It's like BoJack Horseman's house. Yeah. And it's not Adam Devine. It's is it Devine or Divine? The little
Levine,
guy,
right? You're talking about.
I'm talking about Adam Levine. I'm talking about Maroon 5.
Maroon 5 guy.
Yeah. But anyway, he's got a fucking remote control in his house. And you push a button when he wants to watch TV. He pushes a button, and then like blinds come out of the floor and rise up, and it seals it into darkness, which is like kind of cool. I was very impressed with that. This is not a story. I don't know why I'm even talking about this. No, but nothing really. I just don't fucking. That's not my lane.
I also have the thing where it's like so many parties I'm at, I don't remember.
Right.
You know, they all blend into. Did I ever tell you the John Hamm story?
At the strip club?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
tell it.
No, it was at. It's not really a strip club. It was at
Jumbo's Clown Room,
Jumbo's Clown Room,
which is
like
a great place. It's a fantastic place.
It's an iconic LA strip club, but it's they have clothes on. There's no nudity at it. It's kind of like a burlesque kind of thing. Courtney Love used to dance there back in the day. Like, it's been around LA forever. So I'm like there with some friends, and one of my friends, she sees that John Hamm is also there, but he's like got the baseball cap, and he's like, kind of incognito kind of thing. And she's like, holy shit, that's John Hamm. He's so fucking hot and all this stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, it's crazy. It's John Hamm. And then John Hamm walks up and sits down next to us and goes, hey, Trevor. And he was like, thought I'd come over and, say, hey, since we're all in the IFC AMC family. And I'm like,
you're like, okay, nerd.
Well, no, but he's talking to me. He's talking to me as if we've hung out.
Right.
Yeah, and he's talking about a party we were at, which I have no recollection of, whatsoever. And then everyone at my table is looking like they're, and then he leaves. But before he leaves, he goes, "Stay golden, pony boy," and he walks away.
Oh.
And everyone's like, John Hamm? And I'm like, I don't think so.
I'm sorry, but "Stay golden, pony boy" is oof.
I think it's a reference to something, but I don't know what.
Yeah,
it is.
The Outsiders.
Oh, is that what it's a reference to?
Yeah. Oh. Somebody says, my grandpa met Dick Van Dyke in the early 70s and said he was absolutely the most down-to-earth nice guy. He was shopping with his daughter. Okay, great.
Remember when we were hanging outside of Pianos with Eugene Merman, and he saw Gene Simmons getting into a limo with his daughter?
Yep.
We've already told this on here, right?
Tell it again. I love it.
Gene Simmons came to Pianos with his young daughter, and they were watching something or whatever. And anyway, he had a limo coming to pick him up, and they were getting into it. And we're all smoking cigarettes outside, and Eugene Merman loudly goes, "Hey, Gene Simmons!" And they look, and he goes, "Try not to get too drunk and fuck your daughter tonight."
Oh my God.
Which is the funniest thing.
I saw Gene Simmons at the airport last year, and he had 2 security guards with him. He was wearing baby blue pajamas, old man track pants pajamas, and he had a phone with a phone case that said "Kiss" on the phone case. It's lest you forget you were in Kiss. Fucking, he's the worst.
Does anyone? I'm gonna ask the chat. Does anyone like Kiss? Oh, someone says Kiss was my first concert in '96. I don't know if I've just never heard the Kiss music that's good, but I've never heard anything that's remotely close to being good.
There's one Kiss song that I like. It's called "Going Blind." It's not famous. It's not one of their hits. But yeah, I think that Kiss is the worst band, except for that one song.
Someone said, that's a pretty funny thing. Someone said they're boomer juggalos.
Yeah, exactly, dude. That's dead on.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the restroom real quick. Is that cool?
All right. Yeah. Yeah, the Melvins cover "Going Blind," and that's how I found that song. But it does rule. It does rule. All right. Ad time. Trevor went to the bathroom. Another ad. If you're subbed, you don't have to watch these ads. And if you're going to give me shit about it, I'm going to ban you forever. Zach smells like vanilla. Well, is that bad? Does vanilla smell bad? I don't know. Zach, are you into the band Sleep? Yes, I am. Dope Smoker is, that's the record, baby. Twerkin says, next time someone asks to go to the bathroom, say no. Okay. Zach really likes pronouncing the T in exactly. I don't know if I do. Zach, do you like cigarettes? Yeah, sort of. I used to like them a lot more than I do now. I don't listen to them anymore, but sure. Zach, what are you listening to? Today I was listening to Sparks. Higboner says, I'm Higboner. What? Cool, man. Zach, take the compliment and don't be so sensitive. I don't know what you're referring to. Zach, what does Chair listen to? Chair listens to Swans this week. Did I miss anything? Nah, dude, you didn't miss anything. All right, what else we got? We got any more donations I can thank people for? Oh, we've raised $253 today in donations. Thanks, guys.
Oh, that's nice.
It's pretty
Thank
fucking
you.
great. Meadowhand says, I'm in Texas and no one here believes in COVID. Just a matter of time until I get it. Tell Trevor I'm quitting vaping tonight so it doesn't destroy my lungs. All right.
That's good. But don't go back to smoking cigarettes though.
When was the last time you had a cigarette?
Maybe your wedding?
Oh, no shit?
Yeah, maybe.
You had a
Your
cigarette
wedding.
at my wedding?
Yeah, I'll have a cigarette every now and then,
No
like
way.
you know. But I mean,
God.
that was over a year ago now, like you know, kind of thing. But yeah,
That's
like,
pretty amazing. I'm always impressed with people that can do that.
well, I vape though, like, but
Yeah.
I like you know, because Sam and his girlfriend and Amy and we all like rented a house, and so we went back and I bought a pack of cigarettes, and we missed the after party. Because we had already left. Because you guys went back to the hotel, but Sam
Right.
and I had left, and we went back and we had this really like sick like Texas porch swing
Nice.
at the place, and I was like, I want a pack of cigarettes, and I just want to like fucking smoke cigarettes on a porch.
So you
swing.
smoked like all night, like a normal, like old
Yeah,
times,
yeah.
where it like had like 10
Yeah.
cigarettes.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I envy that. This kind of ties into a Hollywood party thing, but on the subject of cigarettes, I watched the Oscars a few years ago at Sarah Silverman's apartment. She has a pack on her balcony. She has a pack of American Spirits, and every night she has one cigarette to go to bed. That is like the level of restraint that like I could never do that. I could never do it. But it's like you're not going to die from one cigarette a day. It's
No.
perfect.
No,
She's doing it right.
No, I think a lot of people can do that. Like, you know, I mean, I know like a lot of my like, you know, I think my grandmother did that. Like, you know, kind of
One
like,
cigarette a day?
Like you're just very sporadically.
It's like your
you know,
treat
like,
at the end of the day.
like, oh, I'm stressed. I need a cigarette. You know, like, but a pack would sit. You know, you could have a pack in the house and not just, you know,
yeah,
like
that does
through 'em
not
all.
compute with me, man.
No.
Yeah. Is there
Someone
anything
says,
more
if you didn't smoke
badass?
cigarettes before 25, you'll never get hardcore addicted to them. I could see that because honestly, when I like that at your wedding, when I did smoke, I felt like the next day I was like, God, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like I hate these. Like, you know, it was like I prefer the vaping to the cigarettes so much now. Like, you know,
Sure.
because it's just like it's kind of a disgusting, you know, but when I was a kid, I mean, I was constant.
Dude, we smoked so much. I mean, when we were in New York, what do you think? Pack a day, pack and a half a day? What were you? You were bad.
I was around a pack and a half
Yeah.
a day.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then no,
I would have worse hangovers from smoking than from drinking, I feel like, near the end of my getting fucked up career.
Also, I must have I would go to visit my wife's parents, you know, and try to keep it that I smoked from them.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no way they didn't know. I smoked
Oh,
a
yeah.
pack and a half a day. Like I walked in, I probably just smelt like a
Yeah.
fucking cigarette. Like, you know,
It's so funny. You don't realize how much you reek when you smoke. I remember like I came home to stay at my house in DC, and I was like, I'm gonna walk the dog. I'm gonna walk the dog, everybody. Just walking the dog at night. It's normal. And then I like went and smoked a cigarette as I walked around the block. And I came back in, you know, I was like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, and I'm good. I walk in. As soon as I walk in the door, my mom's like, did you just smoke a cigarette? And I'm like, no. And she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, no. And I like went to the bathroom and like washed my hands and
I
like
would never.
brushed
Yeah.
my teeth. It's like, who do I think I'm kidding?
Dude, I remember one time when I was like 18 or 19, I was hanging out with a friend of mine who had come to visit. Like he moved to LA and he came back to Virginia, and like we went out and just drank all night. And then it was like, oh, gotta get home like that. And I live with my parents, and you know, drove home probably drunk, you know, like, you know, but then got there and I had to drive him up to DC to the airport. and my parents are there. It's morning. They're waking up, and I'm like, hey, I'm coming in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm still trying to play it off.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm kind of like, hey, how you doing, guys? So good to see you. Good. Hey, mom, how you doing? High five. Like, you know, like that kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, we're just hanging out, but you know, at the bars. Like, I just had water because, you know, I gotta drive to the airport. And my parents are just like, why don't you take a nap and we'll drive your friend to the airport? I'm like, oh, it's like 3 hours up there, you know, to do that. And they're like, why don't we do that? I'm like, they never brought it up.
God.
They were like, okay, like
That's
parents
amazing.
know. Parents know.
Yeah, I remember I crashed at Ryan's. I was in DC staying for like the winter break or something. Ryan lived in like near Howard University, like in the middle of town. And I got so fucked up I crashed at his place, and I was like, I need to get home, but I just know that like alcohol is like pouring out of my skin. You know, like sometimes you ever get like you go on such a bender that you're just sweating booze the next morning. And I was like, fuck it, man. I'm going to just like walk home. It's like 7 miles. I'm like, I'm just going to do it.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And I had combat boots on. So I'm like not wearing like walking footwear. And I'm just like, ugh. And then I had like, I was on Key Bridge. I was like walking into Arlington, and I had like, dude, like diarrhea was like, it was like happening, you know? I was like, oh, I was like the hangover shits. I like ran into some fucking, whatever, dude. God, just the misery. Somebody says, what's your best psychedelic experience? I feel like we've done all that before, haven't we?
See, the good ones are never that interesting, honestly. It's the bad ones that are interesting.
Yeah.
Like the good ones don't make for good entertainment.
Yeah, you're like, everything's connected, and all we have is
Yeah.
the moment, and like God is in everything, and cool.
See, there's a filter going on here on Newsboyz,
Like what?
which may not be happening on other things. We're like, you know, Zach and I are actually like filtering our thoughts to try to give good stories.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
I'm just shitting on the other shows for no reason. Yeah, I'm just being a dick.
When I was a kid, my brother used to drink a lot and shared a room, so the next day the room would smell a lot like booze because he would sweat it, like Zach said. Okay. I'm not making it up.
Oh, here, there's this news. Somebody, this is news that no one will care about, but maybe you and I, which is that the Creek in the Cave is no more.
I heard that. That's too bad.
Yep.
That is too bad.
Creek in the Cave is a kind of a very nice, it was a, what would you call it? Like, it wasn't like stand-up New York, or it wasn't.
I mean, it was just a bar that like Timmy started doing stand-up at, and then they were like, oh, like we're getting, like Timmy started that place.
Timmy and John F. O'Donnell.
And
started comedy there.
Doing comedy there. It was in Queens, and then it started working, so they started having more comedy shows on this little stage, and they like kind of built a room for it, and then it became like kind of one of the bigger New York City like underground comedy clubs.
Well, there was the lady who ran it, Rebecca Trent, fucking awesome lady, really cool. And it happened at a point in time. Now this is going to get boring, but I'm going to make it short. But
Long Island City, that's right.
Yeah, Long Island City. There was a you know, we had our show at Pianos on the Lower East Side,
the flagship show
of New York City. So you had the stand-up clubs, and then you had the alt scene. So we had our show. The flagship was Rafifi, which was Eugene Mervin, Bobby Tisdale. You know, Nick Kroll was always there. Like, and we would go back and forth. They would be on our show, we'd be on theirs, and everything like that. But like, it was Rafifi was the center of the alt comedy New York scene. And then when Rafifi went away, because they were all fucking idiots who ran it, you know, I think it was a front, honestly. Like,
they gave away so many drinks at that bar. I don't know how they stayed.
I don't know how that thing didn't make money, except that it was just, you know, run by, you know. Anyway, so then Rebecca Trent, at around the same time, started the Creek in the Cave, and the whole alt scene went there, and it was a fantastic place, and now it's COVID killed it, and that's sad.
That
So
sucks.
R.I.P. to Creek in the Cave.
Do any of your guys' individual stand-up acts exist online? I think Timmy's do. I don't know if Sam's do. I've never done stand-up.
Never?
I've done like storytelling stuff on stage, which I really enjoy. And then there's been times where we've been doing Whitest Kid stuff, and there'll be like remember at like Fun Fest, there was like a technical difficulty, so I just did stand-up for like 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
Oh, that's a good point. Somebody brings up Rebecca Trent, I think, runs the Legion of Skanks Skank Fest.
That's cool.
That's her thing. That's cool. Oh yeah, Tim Allen is. I'm just reading the comments now. Tim Allen is trending on Twitter.
Why?
Because he wrote a very cryptic tweet. Well,
I saw he did like a Christmas tweet. Is that not right? Where he's got like a beard and he's talking about Santa? No?
This is he's promoting the Santa Claus 3?
Uh-huh.
No, Tim Allen, he tweeted, this is very cryptic. He tweets, I just went to his Twitter, his like the banner for his Twitter is Buzz Lightyear and him as Santa Claus from the Santa Claus.
Is that surprising? That's what I would expect.
So yeah, he tweeted Karl Marx, period, Communist Manifesto, period, Wikipedia. And so that is, everybody is, that's why he's trending right now.
So what are people saying that means?
I don't know. I don't know what that means. You know, what my guess would be is that it means like, hey kids, look up Karl Marx and the Communist Manifesto, right? Wikipedia it, or somebody goes, which is very funny.
How do you spell that?
They spelled it EUUUUGHH, but I knew exactly what it was, so that's pretty good. Yeah. I don't know what that means. Chat, what do we think that means?
Well, yeah, he's a super conservative. I wonder if he's a Trumper. I bet he is.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think a lot of older people are.
Blows my mind.
I don't know. You probably like him. You probably like him from the. I remember when
the older you get, the more you'd be able to like smell a moron and like a con artist. You know, it's like, oh, like I'm not falling for this. I've been around the block before. I know a fucking con artist when I see one.
Are you kidding me? Are you on? Have you ever seen? Well, I don't know. I'm talking from my parents on Facebook. They fall for everything.
Right.
You know. I remember when I was a kid, my grandmother had Trump's board game. Like this is in like 85, 86. There was a board game called Trump, and it was like one of the only games my grandmother had. And it sucked. It was like a shitty Monopoly, like where it was all these inside jokes, I guess, about if you knew Trump or whatever. Like about it. Like I remember trying to play it and being like, she had the Trump board game, and then she had like she had the VHS copy of the movie FX. And that's all she had. And that's all she had. And I was like, I'd go there and I'd be like, what the fuck am I gonna watch FX and play this Trump board game? And she was like the fun grandmother, because my other grandma had nothing except one video of Victor Borge.
Oh, Victor Borgia. Oh, I've watched many Victor Borgia videos. That is not fun for children.
And then my grandfather had diabetes, so you couldn't even have real candy there. So it was just like, you know, let's have sugarless candy. So me and my sister go over to hang out at my grandmother's place. And it'd be like, oh, let's eat sugarless candy and watch Victor Borge.
Good Lord.
What were your grandparents like?
Well, my grandfather and grandmother on my mom's side are like very, very sweet Southern kind of like not aristocratic, but like pretty well to do. Like my grandfather was in the Army Corps of Engineers. He like worked on the A-bomb and he helped design the lunar module. He's like a very, very sharp engineer. And like that whole side of the family, kind of like overachievers, you know, that's like, you know,
Is that the side of the family that Tipper Gore's part of?
Yeah.
And it comes from the president. Which president?
well, I mean, Taylor.
Taylor, exactly. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're the Taylors.
That's that side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I was talking to someone about this today, actually. I remember like, you know, this is in Virginia, and my grandfather lived like right next to Mount Vernon, you know, George Washington's home on the Potomac River.
I had to go there every year. That was our fucking field trip. Yep.
And I remember
Yeah,
once I was
boring.
standing in the backyard looking out at the river, and he was like, see this river like 200 years ago or 150 years ago, whatever. He's like, you know, the Confederate troops sailed down this river to like go back up some battle, blah blah blah, and you and I would have been standing right here cheering them on. And I remember even at like 7 years old, I was like, I wouldn't. Like, you know, I didn't say it out loud. I was like,
Right.
not me, man. No, I don't think so. He's like, just like that weird old, you know, like couldn't have been a sweeter guy, but like, dude, no.
I think I'd be inside. I'm not hanging out by the river to cheer on.
Yeah, I'm not
people.
cheering on the Rebs, bro. But maybe I would have been. That's the thing, though. If I was born back then, maybe he's right. Maybe I would have been.
You might have.
Yeah.
I had part of my family were like, you know, nobodies from Ireland who came here because they were like they were like indentured servants, so they like broke their contract and they like hid on a boat.
Yeah,
You know,
rad.
so that's like the one side. And then the other side have been here forever. They were like my great whatever the fuck was like the judge in Jamestown. Like, so they were like got here right at the beginning. And it's funny when you hear about that side of the family because they were on the wrong side of history at every turn.
Oh man.
Yeah. They were just like, we were. So, I've never told this. I'll tell this real quick. So my dad, like in the last like 20 years, my dad started getting into like family history. Not even the side that he's on. He's like the piece of shit Irish side that like just came over here because we ran out of potatoes. Like, which are actually kind of probably the better people. But he's interested in the historical side of our family that has been here forever, like my mom's side. And so he found that there's a trial that they do recreations of every year. That's my great, whatever the fuck. And it's Patrick Henry. It's the two of them. And it's basically the trial that started the Revolutionary War. So my dad gets all into it. And I'm visiting for Christmas, and it's around Thanksgiving or Christmas or something like that. And he's like, we're going to go to this thing. I've told them we're coming. We're descendants. This is going to be really cool. And I'm like, I just want to go to bars with my friends. But he's like, no, he's like, it's I have to get up and we have to drive somewhere. And it's like, 8:30 in the morning. We go to this fucking thing. We sit there and they make a big deal. They're like, we have descendants of so-and-so, like Henson or whatever like that. And I'm like, okay, great. And so they're like, you guys will be the jurors today. And we're like, oh, because it's a court case that they're reenacting like that.
Just
so
you and your dad?
Me and my dad and my mom. That's it. It's three people. So we're sitting in this and they do it in the old courthouse, and we're sitting up and, and this is not that long ago. This is like 6 or 7 years ago. I'm like a grown person who's just like, never visit your parents. Don't visit your parents. They'll surprise you with some bullshit like this. And so we're sitting there, and my dad's been telling me the whole time. He's like, it's great. Your great grandfather and Patrick Henry, they started the revolution and all this stuff like that. So we start watching the reenactment, and then it's like, and I should have known something's up because the guy who plays my great grandfather is like this big fat buffoon sort of dude, like with the powdery wig and everything like that. And as they start talking, my great grandfather is like, I think the British are great. like he's like the bad guy.
Yeah.
And Patrick Henry's like, no, liberty. And he's like, no, the king. Like, you know, and it's all like flouncy and like, you know, and basically like he's the heel and everybody like hates him. And then my dad is watching and he's like, huh? Like, and I can tell my dad hasn't done the research. So I start cracking up and I'm sitting in a jury box in front of everyone. And I'm like, oh my God, like, all the way up here. And dad doesn't even realize we're the bad guys. Like, you know, and my mom is also like, oh, like, you know, and so then, and this is the insane thing about it. Like I'm crying laughing. Like, and then they go, okay, it's up to you, the jury, to decide. Do you go for fucking what's his name?
Patrick Henry.
Patrick Henry, or do you go for my fucking guy? And
you don't even remember his name?
I don't know his name. Like I honestly don't even know his last name. It's that far back. Like, you know. I could not care less. And so my mom like votes for England. And they're like, well, that's not what happened, you know? And she's like, I vote for England like that. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she was like, it feels wrong to go against family. I'm like, you don't know this guy. Like, that's an insane way to go. And so the guy has to eventually be like, okay, well, even though it was a hung jury, in the actual she like fucked up the recreation of it. Like,
also,
you know,
like that is such a bad look. Selling out all of her countrymen for some ancestor she doesn't even know his fucking name.
Selling out all of her countrymen.
Oh my
God. Yeah.
What did your dad vote?
He voted for Patrick Henry.
What did you vote?
Like, Patrick Henry. I was like, fuck my grandfather.
That's amazing, dude. Oh my God. Did you ever go to Colonial Williamsburg?
Once.
It sucks, right?
Yeah, it's boring.
That place is boring as hell.
It's like, I don't know. It's like this country has so little history, you know, compared to other countries. Well, no, they have tons of history.
Well, lots happened.
We just don't talk about it because like we like killed everybody. And then we're like, all right, history starts here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we have no idea what the Indians were up to or the Native Americans. We have no idea what they were doing.
Yeah.
Or I'm sure some people do. I don't.
Yeah.
But like, so they like, you know, like we're like, oh, this is cool. It used to be old. That's all I get from Williamsburg. When you go to Williamsburg, Virginia, they're like, oh, it used to be older than now. And things weren't as nice. And you're like, that's fucking boring.
Yeah.
Someone says Colonial Williamsburg is neat for an afternoon.
I don't even think it's neat for an afternoon, man. I think if I went to Colonial Williamsburg, I would be bored within 10 minutes. I would be like, get me out of here.
I think like it would be cool to live somewhere where there was like, you go to like Stonehenge. That's cool. That's 1,000 years old. I went to Rome and I was like, this is cool. This is like 2000. You mean this is 2,000 years old? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but like here, they're like, this is 200 years old. And you're like, so you mean it's like what my lifetime could be and one other dude's?
Yeah, dude. That sucks.
Yeah. Who cares?
The only thing I remember about Colonial Williamsburg is the stockade. They like put you in the stockade and take your photo, and it's like, that would fucking suck, man. How come people were so much more like hardcore in the past? You know what I mean? Like, I have this book, Executions, which is like such a cool book. It's just like all the different ways humans used to execute each other throughout history. And it is like, there is some creative shit in that book. Mm-hmm. Like, people used to be so much more vicious than we are now. It's like the electric chair is like gentle by comparison to this shit.
I mean, all of us that are alive right now are the greatest people that have ever lived on this planet.
Yeah.
Easily. Like we're the most humane, we're the smartest, the just the nicest, like, you know, funniest. Have you ever read old fucking jokes? Like, it's just like, you know, everybody from before. I said everyone before 1960 was an idiot. I revised it. Everybody before 1970
Yeah.
was a fucking piece of shit. Just,
Dude, one of the.
just,
Go ahead.
they all smelled like shit
Oh, yeah.
because they didn't clean.
Yeah.
They were like, they sat around like writing poems all day.
Yeah.
That's all they did. Like, it's like, and then they basically, have you ever read any of that? What's the lady, like, they're all these like Pride and Prejudice
Jane Austen?
books. You ever read any of that shit?
No, I don't think I've ever read Jane Austen.
Oh my God. Like, I had to read it in school, and like, I would, if I lived in that time, I would blow my fucking brains out. Like, I would basically the first guy who let me have like a fucking musket. And it probably, what's fucked up is like muskets probably didn't even kill you immediately back then, because that's how fucking dumb they were.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't even figure out how to make a gun. So you'd like, basically the bullets were like this big, and it would just like hit you, and you'd be like, like, oh, I'll die in like a month because of like gangrene.
Yeah. How would you commit suicide back then if you didn't want to use a musket? What do? I guess you hang yourself?
I don't know. You had to throw yourself in a river.
Oh, God.
Horrible times. Living before air conditioning would have been the worst fucking thing. That
No
could ever
shit.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I was born 100 years from now. Because I bet if I was 100 years from now, I'd look back at this time and be like, you know what bums me out a lot is when you see like cords.
Mm-hmm.
That
or like telephone cables, like telephone power lines. It's hideous, dude.
It's disgusting, and you see it, and you like telephone, like 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 we're all like, we got these fucking wooden things that we're hanging all of our wires.
I say that my wife is so sick of me saying that. I'm like, in 200 years, we're gonna look back at this and be like, how do they live like this? It's fucking hideous. It's an eyesore. It makes a beautiful neighborhood look like trash.
Yeah, no, I hate this time.
In Korea and Japan, they've been burying all the lines, and it's beautiful. They have look at a before and after of some of these neighborhoods. It makes a giant difference.
Yeah. People are saying, Trevor, read satire. Read classic satire. They were very smart.
It's true. It's true.
Well, it's almost as if what we're doing is a exaggerated version of our real opinions. It's almost as if it were for entertainment.
Dude, the execution book, the one that like, there's a few that stick out to me. Yeah, the Catherine wheel is insane. There was this one that I think like the Vikings would do, no, it was the Egyptians. They would put you in a canoe. They would tie you up and lay you down in a canoe, and they would force feed you cream. So you were just like totally bloated and shitting. And like you'd have horrible diarrhea and indigestion. You'd be like puking and shitting. They'd just force feed you milk and honey. And then they would just like, once you were like a tick where you just like couldn't eat anymore and you're like literally puking and shitting, they would just like cast your canoe out into the swamp and leave you alone for a day. And the bugs in that swamp would come and just like attack you for, 12 hours. And at the end of the day or the next day, they'd pull you in, force feed you more milk and honey, keep you alive, like give you nourishment, and then just like coast you out. And you would just like make a mess and just be, that is so ruthless, dude. I can't even imagine what kind of a brain thinks of that. It's like, let's do it.
Do you think
somebody.
that's real?
Yes. I think that's real, man.
It sounds like an urban legend.
From the pharaohs? I don't know. I don't know, man. That book was like pretty serious book.
It's kind of, I mean, that's brutal.
Yeah, dude.
Someone says people were very bored, and yeah, I think I mean, that's the thing.
I know people would go to like public murders, like the whole town would get together and be like, "We're gonna see a hanging, let's go!" And it would be awesome.
There's nothing going on.
And that was like recent. That was like in the 20s. They would still do some of that shit. Public executions ended not long ago.
Dude, I remember being bored in the 90s. Like, and I remember when the iPhone came out. So this is 2005.
Mm-hmm.
The iPhone came out, and I bought it. And my big thought when I got it was like, I have like because you could get like the internet on a BlackBerry, but it sucked. but it was like, oh, this is like, it's just like a web browser. Like, oh, I have the internet in my hand. Like, oh, I'll never be bored again.
Yeah.
And I really haven't been.
Yeah, but I would challenge that. Are you bored all the time now?
No. I'm watching hippo attacks. It's great.
But I think that you get less pleasure from it now. It's
Oh,
the whole like music.
You should have seen me last night watching those hippo attacks.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
No, I'm listening to your.
But you know what I mean, though. It's like the whole thing where it's like you used to get music, you had to go to the record store, and you only had enough money for one album. And you'd have to think really hard about what record you're going to buy, and then you would pick one, and you go home and you'd listen to it again and again and again because you had to learn it because you didn't have anything else that week or that month. You know what I mean? It's like you don't value it now that you have Spotify. You have everything at your fingertips. You just skip around. You don't care. It doesn't matter. You don't enjoy it as much.
I agree. I don't value it, and I probably don't enjoy it as much. But I'm not bored. Like,
but I would say that like you, maybe we're just getting into semantics, but like you're kind of always bored, even when you're looking at stuff.
Somebody was like, they're like, I'm bored all the time. I'm bored all the time. I'm bored. There's a bunch of people saying, I don't think you are though, but I don't think you're bored like people were bored before the internet. That's what, and I think you're right. We are getting into semantics, like where like maybe the highs aren't as high, but like, I don't think people who say they're bored right now, if you can go on the internet, you're not as bored as it was before the internet. Before the internet, you'd be so bored, you'd fucking like draw or something. Like,
but there you go, right there. That's you would draw, you would do shit. I mean, I'm sounding so annoying and old, but like, yeah, man. I feel like my brain, like I honestly do think like my creativity was formed in the backseat of my mom's car, looking out the window, bored out of my fucking brains, and just having to make up shit in my brain. Just having to like, I gotta entertain myself with this. Is all I got. Let's just like think of shit. And like, that's where I just found my creativity, like in the boredom. And now like, now these kids are just like, they're playing Angry Birds. They don't get to do that, dude.
Yeah, dude. My sister was 3 years younger than me. And she would, as a kid, she'd like Barbies and I'd like Star Wars. And then like so many times she'd be like, all right, what if the Star Wars people meet the Barbie people in the Barbie house? And then we would like play together. Like, shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. Like, you have now there's the internet. Kids aren't hanging out with their 3-year younger siblings. Like, no. That's embarrassing.
Somebody goes, Angry Birds? You run a Twitch stream. Yeah. All right. Zach sounding like the ultimate boomer right now. Yep. Zach was privileged enough to have a Game Boy. Don't kid us. No, I didn't have a Game Boy.
Oh my God. Do you think all these other fucking shows that their viewers like insult them as much as on this one?
Probably not. But I do think there's something about us that kind of asks for it. You know what I mean? Well,
we can take it.
Yeah. It's nothing to me.
Yeah.
Oh, they're saying yes, they do. Oh, really? And they're saying, wait, every channel. So this is an honest question. I don't know if I could expect an honest answer from chat, but like, is this normal for every Twitch stream, or is this normal for every Whitest Kids Twitch stream? I mean, like other Twitch shows with other people, do they just get a constant haranguing? Is that all it is? People are saying, yeah, pretty normal for Twitch. Okay. It's normal. Oh, I thought, well, it kind of hurts my feelings.
Really? Does it really?
Not really.
Yeah.
Interesting. So it is normal. All right. Interesting. Welcome to the internet. Yeah, I guess so. It's funny. You know what I think? I think our YouTube comments are all overwhelmingly nice. I wonder why Twitch is overwhelmingly negative.
Well, you know what else?
Because we're live and they want to get a reaction.
Exactly. But you know what else we did? We went away for 10 years and didn't do anything, which was fucking great. Yeah. And then people are like nice to you when you first come back.
Yeah, when you first come back.
Because then they're like, oh, well, these guys, they were gone for 10 years. Let's be nice to them. Yeah. And then everyone's mean. And then you're like, oh, all right.
You guys need another 10 years?
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'll leave tomorrow.
Yeah. That's funny. Oh, hang on. Let me do some more of these thank yous. Belakim Moxnarb. What the fuck? Belaki Moxnarb donated. Says, I'm currently on my 7th this stream. I know he's referring to cigarettes. Fuck my health. It feels so good. Hey, man. Do you? Wet Love Making donated $50. Says, personal donation to Trevor for vape juice. Thank you, Wet Love Making. It's very kind of you, my friend.
I'm gonna use the. Oh, there's a cock in the
Hey, very cool.
chat.
Oh, I think it just got deleted. It's gone.
That was Nate. Nate did that.
Oh. That was a dick. That was a dick. What else, dude? Watch Eric Andre's visit to Colonial Williamsburg. I'll watch it offline. I don't need to watch other comedy shows on our Twitch stream. Zach was in Wrecked, which was fun. Thanks, bud. Nate's a commie. This guy's a commie. What am I quoting? What is that a line from? This guy's a commie. Commie. It's there's some fucking movie. What the fuck? I know somebody knows it. Was it Seinfeld? I think it was. That sounds about right. When Kramer was Santa. Yes, that's it. Dalek, you got it. Fuck yeah, dude. Zach, is there any role you went out for but didn't get that is notable? I mean, dude, are you kidding? So many. I remember the first role that really broke my heart was I came very close to Jay Baroshel's role in Tropic Thunder. I thought I was going to get that, man. That was tough. But he's actually, I think he's great. So I would have made the same decision. But that one hurt. Zach, is there any co-star that you don't despise? Oh my God, are you kidding? I love most of the people I've ever worked with. There are a few I do despise, though. I'm not gonna pretend that's not the case. What the fuck is Trevor holding? I don't know. Trevor, what are you holding?
Babe.
Oh. Wait, what? Did Trevor bring in a severed goat head? I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh yeah, I did that too. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a fly on that fucking thing, man.
Really?
On the nose. On the snout.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I have a bunch of these in my house.
Yeah, I remember your old house, you had this like goat head that was like right over the toilet, so when you'd be taking a pee, it would be like right in front of you. And I remember I was always like, this thing just wants me to like kiss it. And then I remember I came out, I was like, that goat head is like right kissably close. And you're like, every time I'm drunk and I pee, I kiss it.
Yeah, my dad bought me this because he just keeps buying me animal heads that he gets from thrift shops.
Oh.
So that's but then it was just in the bathroom and it kind of was like falling over, so I like brought it out here. So I have like 4 or 5 of these things.
Somebody says, yeah.
Because your dad is fucking weird.
Your dad is kind of a weird guy, man.
My dad's totally weird.
When I met your dad, the first time I met him, so we were roommates. Or no, we weren't roommates. We were going to be roommates. But I remember, like, I went to your dorm room. This is when we lived in St. George. And Trevor's door, you could just hip check it open. You didn't need a key. So I would always go to your room and I would just, like, I would just, like, open the door myself. I remember I went over there. It was like moving out day. So like people's parents were coming to like move them out of the dorm or whatever. And I just like opened your door and your dad was in there. He's like, ah! And I was like, oh, hey, sorry. I'm looking for Trevor. He's like, where is he? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm here looking for him. He's like, well, he's supposed to be here. And I was like, I've never met your dad in my life. I was like, I don't know where he is. So I'm Zach. Nice to meet you. He's like, well, this is bullshit. He said it. He was like, this is bullshit. I have been waiting here for him for 45 minutes. And I was like, I don't know where he is, man. It was, and to his credit, he did apologize later in the day, but it was a really hilarious way to meet your dad where he was just like so mad at you.
Yeah, a lot of our relationship has been them trying to find me. Where is this shit?
Trevor, bring your parents on the stream. Yeah, what would your parents think of this? So, like, my mom, your mom, and dad, not fans of Whitest Kids.
No.
Certainly not fans of Miss March, although no one really was. I don't think my mom had a problem with guys with kids, and I'm sure your parents probably like your Disney stuff, right?
Yeah, like they're always like there was a bit I do this Trevor Moore show thing with Comedy Central, and I just shot a bunch of new episodes for that'll come out later. But there was a bit I wanted to do with my mom, you know, and or like the writers were like, this would be funny, and I was like, this could be funny with my mom, like, and I was like, all right. So I called my mom, and I was like, I got this bit, do you want to do it, you know? And then she was like, where is this in your, like, what kind of show is this that, like, you know, it was basically, she's like, will I like this or not? I'm like, you're not gonna like it. And she was like, okay, I don't want to be. I'm like, that's fine. So we use Sam's mom, because Sam's mom's down for anything.
She's up for anything, man.
Yeah.
If Sam was in a porno, she would be there cheering him on.
She'd be there opening night.
She would. She really would.
Opening
Like,
night
he's
of a porno.
fucking so good.
Look how he's giving it to her.
Oh. He has his father's penis.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have the confidence to slap someone they're having sex with like that.
Yeah.
You know.
I know Nate's in here because that is true.
That is true. Yeah.
It is true. She's the most lovely, supportive parent you could ever ask for.
She's like, that is that impressive cum shot.
Oh my, he's coming so much. I didn't know he could come that much.
Oh my God.
Oh. Gross.
He's gonna get mad at that.
I'm waiting for him to call. Dude.
He's gonna call right now. But like, yeah, no, I mean, like, so yeah, they like the Disney stuff I do. They don't like the other stuff. But I want to do a show that isn't like a regular show, like one that just happens like once a month, where I'll just like drop it like 30 minutes before it happens, where I get on with my sister and then maybe my parents and just do like a family Zoom kind of thing. Wow.
I would watch the shit out of that, dude.
Because it's a disaster all the time.
You guys don't even understand Trevor's family dynamic. It would be because like your sister is like, it's like a sitcom that's already written. It's like Trevor's Trevor, and then your sister's like this kind of like free spirit. Like,
would you say I'm the most normal person in my family?
Yes, which is insane.
Yeah.
And then your parents are just so fucking on another planet.
Yeah. No, I'm the voice of reason in my family.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And it is true. Yeah. Yeah, you should do that, man. I'm sure your parents wouldn't be down. They wouldn't be down to be.
No, they'd do it.
On Twitch?
Yeah.
Well, what about the comments? You'd have to disable chat. Because people would say vile, horrible shit, and they'd be offended and they'd bail.
Yeah, my parents are like weird, where they're like they're very conservative, but then also very chill about some things. Like, you know, like I told you, like I was not allowed to watch anything with one swear word in it. Mm-hmm. You know, one swear word, it turned off. Yet I had no curfew ever. And also I didn't have to come home in high school.
That's crazy.
And so I rarely came home. Like, which again goes into their, where is this kid? Kind of like trying to find, like, you know, I would come home on weekends, and I would like all through the week I would stay out, you know, and I would crash at my dad's office when he wasn't there, and I would
go crash at your dad's office?
Yeah, because I had a public access show, so I'd work at public access. Like after I got out of school, I'd go and work at public access and make comedy videos with my friends. We'd work until like, you know, midnight, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Then I'd go and crash on my dad's office, and then I'd show up at school.
Like where? Like on the floor?
Yeah, well, I had a mattress that I'd throw down that I put in a closet. So I'd sleep.
So you had the keys to your dad's office. Would you ever wake up?
I had
his how many people worked in his office?
No, he rented space in the back of a printing company. So he was his only, like,
okay, so
he worked for himself. Just his space, but I would just crash there. So I wouldn't come home Like, and
And why would you
basically,
do that? Was the drive home really long?
yeah, I lived 30 miles away from my school, and
Uh-huh.
I'd work until like 1 or 2 in the morning or midnight
It's
or
probably
something like
not
that.
safe to be driving home then. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I basically like once I got a driver's license at 16, I never came home until.
Would you ever get fucked up at your dad's office? Were you
Um,
drinking and doing drugs back then or no?
No. I started.
Were you smoking cigarettes?
I started all that shit like kind of around 18, you know, because my parents. This was very smart that my parents did. They were like, because all of my friends would be like, you know, had like fucking curfews and shit, and they were like, look, you can do whatever you want, but if we ever catch you, like drinking or doing drugs, you have to go back to regular. You have to basically become like a regular kid, like everybody else. And that was enough, like basically that
They're giving you have a wonderful privilege thing here
Yeah.
where you get to go be free, but like don't fuck
like,
it up.
so I
pretty
could
good.
like, you know, like I could like, you know, go to clubs and like shows. Like there was like a all ages club that I would go to all the time, and like, you know, go on dates to that. And then like, you know, it was like I could kind of be the bad kid, but I just couldn't ever get caught with like shit. So then as soon as I graduated college, high school, I just started like, you know, doing everything, but still living that way.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And then
And you did more drugs back in that time period, right? Right after you graduated high school than you did like in New York, right? You were like kind of coke guy, like you were like a drug dude for a little while. Right?
No, I didn't do coke.
I thought you said you and your ex would like go to a hotel and just like blow lines and like get fucked up and shit.
Not cocaine.
Oh.
Yeah.
All
Cocaine
right.
was a New York thing. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, I just all of a sudden got very like self-conscious, or like, I should be telling all these stories.
Who cares? What's the problem?
I don't know.
You don't do it
I just-
anymore.
I just sort of like all of a sudden like,
You can
Yeah,
talk.
no,
you can talk about your past.
yeah, in the 90s. Yeah. No, I loved ecstasy.
Oh yeah.
That was what I liked. But yeah, no, I mean like, when did you like quit doing? When did you really quit doing drugs?
I mean, I never really quit doing drugs until I got sober. But I don't know. I was always like I did like hard drugs in Philly. You know, I did heroin and crack and like all that stuff and but it was all kind of just in the experimental. I was just like trying to see what everything did, you know.
Right.
Alcohol was always just like that was the main thing. Everything else was just kind of supplemental to that. And then in New York, I had like my cocaine, you know, couple of years where I would like do coke a lot, but like
That's like welcome to New York. Get addicted to cocaine for a year.
But I don't think I even ever got addicted to cocaine. I mean, I was always like could kind of stop doing blow. It was just booze, really. But I think I did. I think I did coke for like a decade. You know, like
Really?
yeah, not regularly, but like I mean, I'm sure like even at the very end, if you had blow and I was drunk enough, I would do it. You know, it wasn't.
See, I got hard in and then did it a lot.
Yeah.
And then was instantly like pretty quickly. I was like, oh, this isn't like the other things. You got to stop this like real quick. Like, you know, so like that's the only thing that I actually remember the date that I stopped.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Cause I was like hard. No, like no more coke.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
the worst thing about what I hate the most about fucking blow is like what it does to the social dynamic of the room. You know, it's like unless you're like hanging out with a baller who just like drops a bag in the middle, it's like everybody go nuts. It's always like this ugly secret where people are like whispering and going into the bathroom and then coming out and acting like they didn't do it, and now they're on a different wavelength than everybody else, and then it's like, hey man, can I get some? And then they don't want to give it to you, and it's just like a whole fucking like nasty
secretive.
I hate that shit, man.
Yeah.
It would drive me nuts. And also like I would get like gacked out and then I'd be the guy that would talk really fast and like be annoying, or being on the receiving end of that sucks. It's such a gross fucking drug. It's pretty terrible.
I just remember like you talk till like the sun came up.
Yeah. Which was it's
people.
fun.
Yeah, but then when the sun came up, it'd be so depressing.
Yeah.
Like the sun, you'd be like, "Oh no, I did it again!" I don't even like this person. Like, now I gotta go hide in a room for a day. Like, you know.
And then coming down is just so like, so depressing. So fucking depressing.
Yeah.
Dude, as I say it, I look an analog jack is saying so depressing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, when I was young, like I knew a guy that you could get ecstasy pills for $5 a pill from.
Oh my God.
So like I
Burn a
was
hole in
like
your brain.
I was the plug. Like I knew the dude. Like, you know, and so everybody, all my buddies and like even people I didn't like had given me a ton of money.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, get cheap ecstasy from this guy. And so I did. I bought a bunch of it. And then me and my girlfriend at the time were like doing ecstasy, whatever. And then I was like, man, I feel so happy. I wonder how happy I'd be if I ate all the rest of it. Like,
probably incredibly happy. Dude.
Yeah. And I did it. And I ate all the rest of it.
How much is all the rest? What are we talking? 10?
God, I don't even, no, less than 10. But it was like, it might've been around 6 or 7. Like, you know, it was like my friends had all asked for one and I'd basically eaten all of this. And I remember just sitting in a bathtub and going to the mirror. And I don't know how much of this is in my mind or how much of this is real, but I looked in the mirror and my eyes were just pupils. Like there was nothing. There was no color around my eyes. There was no white. It was just black. Like, and I was like, oh my God, I'm dying. But I didn't give a shit because I was on like a bunch of ecstasy.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know, I did ecstasy, not a ton, probably 6 times only. And it never really worked on me. And I think it's because I was on antidepressants. And so I feel like every time I would do it, everyone I would be with would be like licking their fucking sweatshirts and sliding down the stairs and saying embarrassing shit. And I'd just be like, I got fucking nothing over here, guys. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I guess that matters, right? If you're on like
maybe, antidepressants might do that. I don't know. I think
it kind of can block your receptors or some shit. I don't know.
I remember it took me a long time to get high the first time I smoked, or like the first couple times I smoked pot, I didn't get high. And so then in my head, I was just like, oh, I'm just invincible to pot. And like, I've heard that
I'm invincible to pot.
Yeah. Like, and I've heard it's basically because you don't know how to inhale it. But I smoked cigarettes.
No, I had the same experience. Like, it takes like 3 times before you get high. And then your first high, you're like so fucking high.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm invincible to pot. Pretty cool. Like, and then me and my friends were all at a party and they were passing a joint around and I'm fucking like housing it. Like, I'm like, you know, I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm like Superman. Like, you know, this is great. Like, you know, boom, boom, boom. And I'm driving everybody home and we get back in my car. I don't drink this night. And I'm driving back. And then all of a sudden, the vibration from my foot pedal, the gas, just, it feels like it's hitting my foot like that.
That's
and
weird.
I'm like, something's wrong with my car. And then I look up and I've lived in this town my whole life. I don't know where I am at all. Like, and I can't figure out what street this is. I can't figure out what any of the streets are. And I say to all my friends, I'm just like, I don't know where I am. and they're like all fucked up. So they're like, oh no. Like that. I'm like, ah. And like, basically we were just fucked. We had to like pull over.
Oh my God. Did I ever tell you? Oh fuck! It sucks because you can't remember what stories you've told on this stream or not.
Right.
The time where I was like baking pot brownies in my house. Did I tell you this story? Like my mom was out of town. Forgive me, Chad, if you've heard this before, but I'm just gonna launch into it. My mom was out of town for like a week, and so I was gonna make pot brownies. So all my friends gave me all their cash. So I had like $400, and I called Phil, my drug dealer. Phil, you know Phil.
Oh, yeah,
Crazy Phil. Phil is crazy, and he talks like this. He's like this white yo who thinks he's like a ninja and a rapper. And
He's one of the funniest characters.
Yeah,
you could
he's
ever,
insane. He's insane.
Not intentionally. Like
no,
you
he
laugh
takes
at
himself
this guy.
very seriously. But he's like, he was a drug dealer, but he was also kind of like a rich kid, and he was like, he would always tell stories of like crazy drug deals he was doing. And it was like, I don't believe it, but okay. Anyway,
Can I say my favorite part about Phil real quick before
Yeah.
we go on? Which is, and these are all your stories, but like that he went to the doctor. And then
well, he
Phil
got jumped in a drug deal, and they broke his face. That did
They
happen.
broke his face.
They broke his
and he
face.
goes- and he's telling everybody afterwards, or he tells Zach afterwards, he's like, yo, the doctors, they looked at my x-rays and they said I had the facial features of a cat. They couldn't believe it. Like,
yeah, that's the line. He goes, yo, they looked at my x-rays, they couldn't believe it, yo. They couldn't believe it. They said I had the facial structure of a cat. And I'm just like, that. I don't even know what that means. Can I have my drugs?
I think about that monthly.
Yeah. My
just
friend
giggle
my
in my
friend
car.
prank called him one time, and it turned into like World War III. Like I can't go into it. Anyway, so Phil comes over to my house. My mom's out of town. I'm home alone. Phil comes over to my house dressed in a silk kimono, literally, like one. That's all he's wearing, and like a straw like rice patty hat. I was like, oh my god.
That's what?
Yeah, like he's just a
I
crazy
don't
person.
remember the
dude.
rice patty hat. That's so like. So he's just like.
He's just like, he thinks he's in Ninja Scroll. He thinks he's like in feudal Japan. It's crazy. But he comes over with this giant bag of weed. So I'm like, all right, man. Hey, thanks. So he comes in my kitchen and we're like spreading the weed out. I give him the fucking $400. And he's like, yo, I don't feel so good. I need to lay down. And I'm like, yeah, go in my mom's room. So I send him back into my mom's room. He's laying in my mom's bed. I have all the weed spread out on this cooking tray. It's like a ton. I turn the stove on. I go downstairs. I'm playing GoldenEye on Nintendo 64. I'm playing GoldenEye, and I'm just like fucking, not even thinking about Phil, not thinking about anything. And then the door to the kitchen opens, and I hear my mom go, yoo-hoo! Like she's home early. Like, she's not supposed to be home for 2 more days. She's surprising me. She's like, surprise! And I'm like,
I'm home from the church store.
I'm home from the church store. And I'm just like, fuck the weed. Like, the weed is on the island in the kitchen. I go running upstairs, and I'm like, hey, how's everything? How's the thing? And she's like taking her earrings off and like doing the mom thing. She's standing right in front of this tray of $400 worth of weed. It's like right in front of her face. It was so gangster. I walked right up. I'm like talking to her. I'm like, cool. There's a box of like Rice Krispie cereal. I grab the tray right in front of her face. I'm asking her how everything was. And right in front of her, I just dump the whole tray of pot into the cereal box. I'm like, I close the box, go put it in the pantry, close the door, and I like almost had a heart attack. I just like, she didn't even notice. I was
That's
so
a
fucking
good
like,
move.
yeah.
That's
and
great.
so she's like, so I'm like, and she can tell I'm acting weird, but she doesn't know like what's going on. And then she's like, well, I'm going to go like, get unpacked. And then she's like, goes into the back of the house. And I'm like, Phil, like dawns on me like, oh fuck, Phil's in her bed.
You're like my worst friend.
Yeah. Like the last guy, the weird drug dealer that's too weird for me is in my mom's bed. And he's wearing a silk kimono, dude.
Oh shit.
And so,
She's not gonna let me have friends anymore.
she opens the door and like Phil is in her bed and he like she's never met Phil. She doesn't know who this guy is. He sits up in her bed and he's wearing fucking silk kimono. He goes, oh, hey, Mrs. Kreger, how's it going? And she's just like, what is happening, dude? He leaves. She's so weirded out. I don't say anything. Like that night after she goes to bed, I like get the cereal box and I like empty it and I like have to separate all the weed. Fucking 2 months later, we're on like some family trip or something like that, and she's like, Zach, can we take a walk? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, we're walking, and she's like, remember when I came home early and Phil was in my bed? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, it had very homosexual undertones. And I was just like, what? I was like, you think I'm fucking Phil in your bed? I was like, give me a fucking break, dude.
You're like, I'm insulted. I could pull someone
Yeah,
better.
I think I could do better than fucking Phil, Mom.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
That's
God, dude.
incredible.
It was incredible.
Dude, that's the high watermark. It's over. Show's done. Right?
Yeah, we can end it. What time is it? Oh, it's 11, dude. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Nice work.
All right, man. We rocked it. Flagship show once again. We did it.
I mean, God, I mean, we should go easy on them the next couple of shows, just because there's some new shows that are trying out, and you want to like nurture them and help them. Like
we can't just continually dunk on the other shows.
We can, but like
I mean, we are. It'll be hard not to, honestly.
Yeah. But guys, Newsboyz Nation, try to show some love for the other shows. It's big of you to do it. And good talking to you, man.
Yeah, buddy. All right, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow. We're doing Self-Suck Saturday tomorrow night.
All right.
All right. Later, dudes.
Cool. I forgot about that show.
Yeah. Later.
Bye.
All right. Ending the stream. So long.